Hi, everybody. Welcome to FNS Wrestling Podcast, episode 279. Back down in the basement, both of us. On video, you can see him here, and if you're only on audio, you'll hear him in a second.
Indeed.
Right there. It's Jack, my co-host and teenage son, home for the weekend because...
It's Full Gear weekend, baby.
Top priorities, right? Is Full Gear. So we will do our predictions for that as well. We always talk about Dynamite. We talk about NXT. We talk about a bit of Raw. We talk about some news. We do some trivia that I think is going to be kind of funny this week, related to something we just watched together as we were kind of getting our notes together. So you're back for Full Gear. Your aunt went and got you halfway yesterday, which was nice. And then I drove out there and picked her up. I had a late day at work, so I was able to get out right away and pick you up and have a cup of coffee at your aunt's place. What was wrong with the cup of coffee, Jack?
No milk.
No milk, no dairy, no anything. So I had to black, which my goal is, I'm a coffee lover if you don't know me. You know me. I know you do. Across the table from me. You know me fairly well. You've known me for a while. But I love coffee, and I've cut the sugar down to almost nothing, but the cream I still need. So my goal is to get to drinking black coffee, and I did it yesterday, but did I enjoy it? Like 56% as much as a normal cup of coffee. So the cream is not going anywhere anytime soon. But what's new with you?
Nothing.
Since we don't talk figures usually at the end anymore, you were texting me that you were out with your aunt. Where'd you go?
It was this not even like, I guess like a strip mall. I don't know. The whatever's in Lindsay.
Oh, there's an EB
And they
Games.
had a GameStop there. So I found like most of, I think it's Unmatched 12. They had the whole set except for Monet. They had Flair, which I didn't want.
Yeah.
They had Mox, which I was considering. They had Roddy with his neck brace.
Yeah, you sent that picture.
And then they had Juice, and actually they might have missing. No, there's only 5, I think, because usually there's 6 and there's only 5, and that's it.
So you grabbed Juice.
I got Juice, and then they had the Full Gear pay-per-view Swerve, which is exactly what I had come for. So they had a couple of them, and so I just picked the more quality one. If there's multiple of the same figure, you gotta look for quality control. And
your entire life has been finding exactly what you want when you go to stores.
Ideal, because
it's not surprising.
They're those pay-per-view figures, and like, so I remember got my first one. I got that Full Gear 2021 Hangman when we were at Target last year, because they are Target figures, but now they've been popping up at GameStop. I got that Kill Switch from All Out. I got that and so then I figured this would be, because I know this is like the newest one, and so it's Swerve from Texas Death actually.
Looks good.
Which I really like. Yeah, which is like 2 years old now, I think.
Crazy.
Just like a couple days ago. It was like
Time flies.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, so I found a couple of those, and then I got like some Praline chocolate from Winners, which is good.
That you've eaten a ton of, and your aunt took you to a bulk store, and you got a ton of runts, which I love from my childhood.
I just weed out the bananas.
The bananas are the best ones.
I mean, I eat them all.
Put in the comments, what are the best runts? Do they have runts in America?
It's bananas.
Do they exist in the United States? I wonder. A lot of our listeners are American. Missing out. They're just tiny little candy fruits.
You send Bark a bunch of stuff again. That's one of the things you gotta send.
Yeah,
is runts.
I don't know. I'll have to ask them if they have runts down there.
Because runts are legendary.
They are good. I got some of your luck at the mall too, and bought an ugly pair of shoes.
You bought shoes that go on your feet and look like they go on your feet.
And so
that's all I
love basketball shoes, but I'm also cheap, so I knew this pair of Curry 11s.
Fast you also supply mics and frisbees.
It's like, yes, exactly. You know, they're like the large percentage of the population are going to call them ugly. I kind of like them, but I also knew no one was going to buy them.
So then that kind of works in your favor.
That's why I waited, because I was like, if I keep waiting, they're going to show up in an outlet store. So yeah, I got $190 Currys for $63 because they were already cheap, and then I get a little bit of a discount at Under Armour. So yeah, I don't know. I was pretty happy. And then in the same mall, it turns out that Shake Shack, which I very much enjoy, has opened.
Is that where we went in Toronto that one day? We were
right across from Eaton Center.
When we were like back really late, when we were with Nate's friend?
The only day you've ever been late for work?
The only time I've ever been like that late. I think one time I was late because there was like a schedule mix up, but like the only time where I had to be like,
because a 50-minute drive took 2.25 hours.
That was, and it was so hot and uncomfortable.
It was awful.
Like, that was probably one of my least favorite car rides we've ever had. Like, and I'm notoriously known for like, I don't like long car rides.
Yeah. It's because it came out of nowhere. It was not expected.
It was unplanned. It was hot conditions.
Unwelcome.
And yeah.
Very unwelcome.
It's never welcome, but like it was unplanned. It's like, even if it was when we were expecting it to be unwelcome, but like
Yeah.
it's just like it wasn't supposed to happen. But yeah, I think that's the only time I've been to Shake Shack because you mentioned the black and white one. I'm like, I know I had that.
That's there. Yeah, that shake's delicious. I like their burgers. I don't know. It's not cheap, but what's cheap anymore? Do you know what I mean?
Is cheap. Yeah,
if a
because
combo at McDonald's is like pushing $15 in Canada.
it is.
And I get the same thing, but with a delicious milkshake and higher quality for 20, I guess. What's the difference, you know?
Yeah, it's literally a small price to pay. I guess if you're talking the
small
difference.
price to pay, yes.
But like, because me and my friend were talking about, because I remember you sent me something about how like Funko's on the ropes right now.
Not surprising.
We were talking about that, and he was saying, "Oh, Funko Pops are expensive because usually like you get one and it's like one each is like maybe around $20." I'm like, it's not that expensive.
Yeah.
But like, I'm used to like paying like $30-$40 for one of these, and like, you know, $50 for some of the Star Wars figures I get. Like some of the figures I get from GameStop. I was looking at Darth Malgus when I was there yesterday, and since I will say with the Star Wars figures and maybe the Marvel ones too, it's somewhat relative. Like, you remember Wrecker from Bad Batch, like the big clone?
Yeah.
He's like $50 because he's also like bigger, right? Like, so
more
it's
materials.
Like, so it is sometimes relative, but still, it's like that's like what I'm used to paying for stuff. But like $20 for like the bobblehead, I was like, that's not that bad. But I'm sure it's like if it
when they started at $8 or whatever they were back in the day,
right? Stuff like that, or like
I think they spread themselves too thin too.
That is 100% the issue because you look at like
series
some of the things
of everything
they've done like for like 50 different musicians, right? Like
TV shows.
We were talking about Sabrina Carpenter the other day. She has them, right? Or like Skibbity Toilet has that.
Like you just said that on you.
There are
you said that term on this show.
But like it sucks
because
like there's
banned.
I also do like how niche they go sometimes in terms of like if it's like pop culture things, but like I feel like when they're doing stupid stuff like that, like there are I can't think of other examples other than the Skibbity Toilet like that are like
said it again. You're gonna say 6-7 next, and then you're banned from the house.
Yeah,
I don't care if you're a co-founder of this podcast.
But like there are a lot of things. But I like when they go niche because like Superstore, right? Like I don't know how much Superstore merch is out there. You know what I mean?
I saw Garrett in the wild.
So like stuff like that, it's like I like that. Or like I remember seeing when I was at GameStop last. I think it was when I was here on Reading Weeks. I don't think I've been to GameStop since, other than yesterday. They had, because usually when they make Power Rangers merch, other than like the dedicated Power Rangers figure lines that they had, because they had like they stopped doing it now. Because I think now they're just doing like these. I don't. Do you remember like the old Power Rangers toys where like they would be like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and like they flip heads so like they're like morphin? They've re-pushed out new versions of those.
Makes sense.
But before that, they had like a series of figures that was basically like their version of Elites, we'll say, right?
Mm-hmm.
So aside from that, like most Power Rangers merch is Mighty Morphin, right? Because that's Power Rangers for a lot of people.
The OG Power Rangers.
So like those are the Funkos that I've only seen. I've only seen Mighty Morphin and then Mighty Morphin movie ones. Like, 'cause we were talking about Ivan Ooze the other day. I think he has one. I have the White Ranger from the movie because that's the one I was able to find.
Nice.
And I have Lord Draken, which is like Tommy if he was white and green combined and he was evil.
Oh,
but anyways, the only other Power Rangers Funkos I've seen that came out recently was other versions of Tommy because he was obviously OG green, OG white, right? But then he was red Zeo, red Turbo, black Dino Thunder. So they made the two reds that he was and the black one.
Mm-hmm.
The black one, I've actually watched that series and I really liked it. So I was hoping to find that, but I only found, I think, Turbo and maybe Zeo. I know I saw Turbo for sure. But like, I like when they're making, it's kind of niche, but it's still like popular enough where it makes sense. I feel like when they're catering like the meme culture and like, sometimes they do like I think they've done like fast food mascots and like, I'm trying to think of, it's hard to think of the other ones, but like you were saying, they definitely have spread themselves too thin. Yes. It's like really all over the place.
It's hard to see some of those selling a lot.
I like
they've
when
gone
they go
so niche and every niche that you can't sell them
I think if they're going niche, they need to do stuff like they went niche.
Our podcast, Where's My Funko Pop? Actually, my Funko Pop's up there.
Yeah, that's a good one. But like niche, like if you go niche in Star Wars, you could go like Legends Star Wars, like, but then there's still going to be like a fandom that will like, you know, that'll cater to, right? Or you go niche Marvel, there's still people that'll cater to, but like, they need to focus on the big IPs because otherwise they're going to go down the drain, which sucks because they're it's such an easy thing to collect and like have on a shelf here. Like there's
we have
a couple
one somewhere upstairs.
I got you, Nate, because Nate had a couple of those, right? I got you the couple there.
Garrett.
I've got some on mine as well. Like they made white stripes. How many things do white stripes get made?
Bless them for that.
So like stuff like that. I don't. Oh yeah, because we were talking about prices. I was like, how did we get here? But you know,
we got there.
It's a whole thing.
Yes.
And it sucks for the stores too, because like if you look at GameStop, a whole like the usually the back corner is like all.
I told you some of the jokes I was seeing online were like, no, the Funko wall in my whatever is a load bearing wall. Like it's basically holding up the store. They're saying because they're all.
It is like there are so many there, and that's maybe part of the problem too. Is I'm sure they sell a lot of them, but they also probably don't sell a lot of them, if that makes sense.
And then they end up on clearance at the prices that they normally were at to start.
Even if they sell a lot, which they do, because I always see people going and buy. They're like, I remember one time I was in a GameStop, people were like, they had like a stack because they're looking for some anime ones, and like that's maybe the issue too. Is there's so many animes that like there's probably some niche ones too. I'm no anime guy. But
I also feel like when they were first out or when they were way cheaper, you're more likely to grab one as a fast gift for someone because they like whatever. So there's a Funko version of it. That's cool, and it's like under $10. But now it's like $25. So that's not
probably like
it's not going to be an add-on gift.
Low end is probably 16. So like it's you still could, but that element is definitely not as prevalent as you're saying. But it's which sucks because I do love a good Funko.
Collector Talk with Jack took over the banter.
Pretty much. That's like GameStop talk, you know.
Yeah, I could say we shift gears into wrestling. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. First segment: news and rumors. I have 4 things this week. None of them earth-shattering, but
I have 3, and arguably none of them are news.
Okay.
Well, kind of, but not really at all.
One just kind of made me laugh. I don't know if you have it, but remember Santos Escobar re-signed for big money because he was gone, and then they wanted him back for whatever reason. And apparently they said they took his concerns of wanting significant story or whatever seriously. And
he was supposed to come back soon, but that was like...
And he still has nothing to do. And he posted on, like, I guess his socials that, like, he's waiting patiently. So
he got hosed.
Paid him not to leave, and I'm not convinced they'll ever use him meaningfully.
I don't think so. I was surprised that they did that.
Right.
And then...
we got big things planned for you, brother. Sign with us. And then you have not been seen since.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing apparently in the near future. So that just made me laugh. It's not really surprising, right?
No.
But it's just like they paid you not to go to AEW. Basically,
pretty much.
Which, whatever. I mean, that's fine unless you actually want to do your job and like be visible and important. But anyways, yep.
I was talking to you about this because I thought it was funny that Stevie Richards made an outrageous claim that Logan Paul is quote better than the entire AEW roster, and then rightfully you had Fletcher and Cassidy clapping back at that. It seems like sometimes he's talking out of his ass. Cause remember, like a little while ago,
he's usually reasonable though when I watch his stuff.
He's talking out of his ass sometimes. Remember, like a little while back, he was like dissing Fletcher for no reason, saying like he wasn't learning from anybody and needed to go to NXT like be seasoned. Like again, like I don't.
Sometimes I feel like these outlets, their viewership and whatever, or their growth plateau.
Yeah.
And then they come out with crap like because we've just never cared. We do this for fun, and if people listen or watch, they listen or watch. I'm not.
It's just like
so I feel like this will get clicks and
I know he's just
or
saying that, but like still like I'm no supporter of Logan Paul. We aren't, but like he is really good for how long he's been doing it or how long
we've said it.
He's not been doing it, but like he doesn't hold a candle like even Fletcher or Cassidy or Takeshita, Swerve, Hangman. Let alone like you want to talk Okada, Omega, Ospreay. Like he's not touching any of them.
It's an asinine statement, and that's why I think it's so far over the top. It's meant to get people like us talking about him.
To say the whole roster is insane, because like I would say even Ospreay on a bad week is like my favorite wrestler. Yeah. It's kind of ridiculous.
And we say that as people who begrudgingly will tell you that Logan Paul is very good.
He is good. He can hold a match, but he can't remember his promos.
That's right. Apparently, yeah.
That's been going. I like that's so funny to me.
Maybe you caught written with it on his hand. Is that one of your stories?
That is what it is. No, that's not my story, but I just want like that is
harkens back to The Rock, right?
Yeah. I guess Stevie Richards needs that payday though, right?
Absolutely, for sure.
I hate listening because I'll see the clips of like Bully Ray talking. And it's like he'll talk about like how great the Bound for Glory match was, or like how like nobody glazes the Dudleys more or Bully Ray more than Bully Ray.
Of course,
like. He's the first to compliment them, or like the Hardys, or like he will not like. Obviously, he's like WWE affiliated, so he's like praising that stuff and whatever. But like he will never miss an opportunity to talk about how like Legendary's blank he did, or like how like rivalries, or like he will never miss a chance.
There was a time in TNA when he was like really in great shape and he was an awesome top heel. I won't even lie. Yeah. But yeah, he enjoys talking about himself for sure. So one thing I had, according to David Otunga, and I was like, oh, okay. But then it says that Daniel Bryan, or whatever his current name is, admitted it, that he wasn't, because the lore is like in 2010, why did Bryan get fired?
He choked Justin Roberts with his tie.
So Otunga is saying it wasn't for that it was for spitting in Cena's face during the same thing, basically.
Huh.
And then as I was reading the actual article, it said that Danielson admitted in 2024, I think it was, that it was actually for both of those things, so that
makes sense.
They're both kind of true. So
makes sense.
It's just I always heard the lore was he choked Justin Roberts with his tie, right?
That's what the general story has been.
Apparently, It was a combination of that and spitting in the franchise's face, not Shane Douglas.
I mean, Danielson kind of that was the blessing in disguise, because that got him
Absolutely.
out of the Nexus, and then he ended up fighting the Nexus, and then now he's not in the Nexus, and he's, if you want to consider him in like what's in the original group, obviously he's like probably the most successful one to come out of the Nexus.
Yes, he is.
Because the next one's Barrett, and Barrett's not more successful.
Speaking of Barrett, so I kind of half watched Raw this week, and he's aged like 15 years since last time I saw him. I feel
really.
Like. Yeah.
I feel like he's been.
So I watched Raw. Here's how I watched Raw, full transparency, because I wanted to see Javon Evans Walter, which I did watch.
Right.
So if you put everything but matches on at 1.5 speed, and you just skip through all of here's the celebrities that are in the crowd, which let me tell you, they did 3 or 4 times of like, and I'm the guy famous for, I've never heard of this person. So it was all people I had no idea who almost any of them were.
Yeah.
But like if you skip all that and 1.5 times, you can get through Raw in like 35 minutes.
Well, yeah, because there's not that much wrestling.
There is not. So
also, can we talk about Gunther bringing back his old theme?
That was amazing.
That was fantastic. I love that it's like we were talking about, was it Sheamus and McIntyre wanted their old teams back, and it's like literally everyone else. But like
it adds to his presentation.
It does. I actually got chills when they brought it back. So I was like, it's just so perfect. It's just so much better.
However,
I saw some people complain, but I was like, no, this is
got major Walter chants, so I don't know how they're gonna feel about that.
I don't care.
I know we don't, but they might. I just want the theme to stay because
it's so good. It's so great.
It's perfect for him.
I think there's genuinely some idiots who think he's ripping off Mercedes Moné's theme.
That's terrible.
But like, because obviously you've heard hers is ripping that.
Yes,
obviously.
it is.
Because his is like
the beginning sounds super similar.
Well, even like you can hear underneath the rapping and the CO chants, like that rhythm is there. But like Gunther seems literally like some old symphony by whoever.
It suits him perfectly.
It is, but it's literally like way older than probably hundreds of years older than Moné's theme. So it's like it's not, but it was so much better. It's so great to hear.
It was. Is it me or you? I don't know.
Me, I think. Go. SmackDown might only go back to 3 hours for 6 or 7 months next year, which
you just said that one now
funny.
Too. You said Skibbity Toilet and 6 or 7, so you are out of the family officially.
I just think it's funny because like, can they not make up their minds about how much they want it to suck? Like SmackDown kind of sucks either way, but
it still
I'd
gets
not
better.
Go back and forth.
It still gets better ratings than everything else.
Even though like it's
and that's all they care about.
Yeah.
Right? Is it gets low ratings compared to itself, but compared to other things that they put on, it does well. So my next item, the Young Bucks agree with you? ? Is what I have. So the Young Bucks agree with you apparently, because I think you're not. They're saying in an interview that 2025 is in their top 3 years of wrestling.
I think they've been fantastic this year.
And they specifically cited their tag match at All In against Swerve and Ospreay as the best of the year, and obviously so you've been ringing that bell for months, and I've just been sort of supporting you. Like they've
just done really well this year.
If you don't look at title reigns and you just look at the matches and the quality, both on TV and pay-per-view.
And the stories, like they were at least like a decent part of the Mox Hangman feud.
Yeah.
Sorry. And then they had the Broke Buck storyline, which was super entertaining every week. And then just like their general match quality this year has been so good.
I think in the same interview they talked about how this heel run, they're still wrestling like the Bucks, whereas the last heel run, they tried to like dial back the babyface offense, and that this has been better for them to just do their thing.
They can still be detestable.
For sure. They can, I don't want to say it's the real personalities because I don't know them, but they can be hateable and still do cool stuff. And
they're just super entertaining.
Because you can come across as, I do this stuff because I can and the rest of you can't. And that becomes folded in with
Ricochet makes it work. Pac makes it work, right?
Now the era of like, you work a babyface style. I think anyone can do it. Pac did it.
Most of the time it doesn't apply anymore. Some people, I'm kind of like Javon, I feel like is so... Javon maybe, but like...
Phoenix is tough maybe.
Yeah. But that's also because like he
doesn't talk.
The character's not always there. For Javon, I also don't know too. But like, the Bucks is just like... I think this, even though they were champs for most of 2024, I think this has been a way better year for them.
They think so too.
I just feel like my general enjoyment of them has been so up because like last year, I think their heel run, it kind of just did struggle for a bit. I think there were periods where we weren't really fans of it. And
this has just been every match has been better than
whether
good.
It's been like a multi-man tag or a tag match, like it's been so good. I mean, they mentioned the all-in match. That was
amazing.
Great. Likely the best tag match of the year.
Front runner, I would say.
They've been in numerous like super fun trios matches. And not just like that they've been in these really great trios matches, but also to the point where I recall numerous times where both of us saying like the Bucks really killed it this week. Like they were pulling out some crazy stuff.
And I'm less likely to do that than you.
Right.
And sometimes I'm leading the charge.
And like
on
they
that.
look like they've been in better shape too, because they're not wrestling in those vests anymore, right? They're like they just feel like they've been reinvigorated. And then they also had the Jurassic Express match at Wrestle Dream, which I also thought was really good. They were in that ladder match, which was really good at All Out when we were there live.
We'll see how they do as baby faces after Full Gear.
Right.
Maybe. Might be in my predictions.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree. But yeah, like I definitely think they've had a really strong year, and like to the point where I don't think they'd win, but I think they deserve being in best tag team of the year because like they've done
for sure. Their
body of work this year is criminally underrated. I think
the only credential missing is title runs. Right?
Really, yeah, but that might not. I mean, I'm not saying it
doesn't matter to me that much.
It's not something when they. I mean, Ospreay was our best wrestler of the year, I think twice, right? Or no, not twice, but at least last year, and he didn't win the world title at least. He was international champion.
They're constantly visible. They have good matches. They're in stories that matter. That's pretty much it.
But yeah, the last one I had was that the Continental Classic is returning on the Dynamite after Full Gear. I'm always excited for this. We love the C2. It's great. As an AEW fan, this is like the Christmas because I mean it's holiday season, but also just because like this is. And it's like one of the best. It's guaranteed to make Dynamite better.
We're tournament people.
Yeah,
it's enough that makes us go seek out Collision.
We did do that last year. I'm curious to see if it'll be for a shot at the unified title or for the title itself or for something else. For no reason other than I have the time and I'm a nerd. I put together a fantasy lineup just for fun. So I'm gonna assume Okada has to be in here.
I think so.
We're gonna assume we're rolling the same way here. So for the Blue League, I'm putting Okada, Cassidy, Ace Austin, Yuta, Shibata, Roddy. Because you need your variety of star power, right? You need your fall guy constantly, which I think would be Yuta. Shibata can eat losses but get a win or two. Same with Roddy. And then Cassidy and Okada can be your point leaders. I put Ace Austin in the middle since he's newer.
And you could build him a little bit, get him visible to people.
Right, exactly.
Have some bangers along the way.
And I would...
It's a good idea.
Right? And then so for my Gold League, because I think everyone has their kind of consensus on where this year's C2
Here comes
ends.
Jay White.
I would say Takeshita, O'Reilly, Alexander, Fletcher, Pac, and Switchblade.
Oh, there's Switchblade. I knew he was coming. That's a pretty stacked.
It is, but block. I'd probably peg Alexander, O'Reilly, maybe Pac as your fall guys.
Alexander for sure.
Right, which is fine. And I would say Takeshita and Switchblade at the front there, and this is assuming Switchblade returns at Full Gear, which he will. I did say like I think the likelihood of having so many Callis guys in the one block is a little.
Do you build to Takeshita Okada?
I think right. Yeah. I would say my fantasy semifinals would be and this is assuming we're doing last year, which was remember they did like the cross league finals because like Fletcher
they flipped pools,
right. We flipped it
in the semis.
Let's assume we do that again because I kind of like that idea just to change up the matches, right?
Yeah.
I'd say you do Switchblade Okada. You can nod to that New Japan history. Okada wins that, and then you do Takeshita Cassidy because that's a great match we've seen before.
Takeshita wins.
Takeshita wins, and you do Takeshita Okada.
Sounds good.
That would be my fantasy lineup there. I would have loved to see Swerve or Ospreay, but I don't think they're going to be back.
No Briscoe again.
No, I didn't put Briscoe because he's been in there twice,
and I think he'll be busy in a new storyline.
And I think he'll be busy less. And you can argue that yes, last year Full Gear Garcia won the TNT title, and then he was in the C2 after. But I would also argue that wasn't the right call. And I'd say Briscoe can take a break this year because he's been in both C2s already. And he did fantastic, but I think he could take a break there. And I really hope, especially Takesha's in there because he's someone so perfect for the C2 that hasn't done it yet.
Right.
So that'd be great. And like I would love to see either Roddy or O'Reilly or both because I think they would thrive in there. And then Ace Austin would be new, And Alexander would also be new for this. So yeah, I tried to go as realistic as possible without
possible.
Fantasy.
We should remember that to see how right you are.
I do. I'll have it open hopefully.
Last thing I had is changes have to be made to the Last Time Is Now tournament because they had to pull Sheamus.
Did you hear who the replacement is?
I did not.
It's Miz.
Oh, Miz, you look disappointed. So
I was hoping they'd like, pull another surprise, but like,
yeah.
Well, Miz also already lost to Jey Uso in the tournament, so it's like,
do they not have anyone else they could pull in there?
I guess not.
I guess not. All right, that wraps up news. Next thing we'll talk about is this Wednesday's episode of AEW Dynamite. You start talking about Dynamite, and I will drink some coffee.
The opener was
with cream in it.
Ricochet. Oh yeah, right. Not black this time.
No.
Kicked off with Ricochet and Bobbert Lashes for the #1 spot in the Casino Gauntlet, which usually we usually do 3-way matches for the spots.
Is that right?
Usually.
If you say so.
Yeah, because we usually get like random 3-ways. I remember getting one with like Roddy in it or something.
Sounds fair.
But anyways, we get Ricochet and Lashes here. Ricochet is insulting people on the mic. He makes fun of the sports team there. I'd forget.
Oh, talk about the audio.
Oh yeah, and it was
because it was honestly ruining his promo a bit for me. I think
it was like high pitched, or like it was like there's no bass in it, or
because at first we were confused because
Excalibur didn't sound like
Excalibur didn't sound right, and then it turns out everything it was on 1.25 speed or 1.1, like just slightly fast enough to make it sound like it took the bass out of their voices, basically.
And it was like everything too, like, and his theme sounded weird, and Shivani sounded weird. And
so we had to try like 5 different ways of watching this episode. It was vexing, quite vexing.
We had it on cable, then
that was where it was wonky.
Watching channel, right? It was wonky there. Then we tried streaming it. Then that was like
streaming it through my phone was no good,
right? And then
tried to get it on demand.
Then we tried doing it on demand, right? It wasn't there, so we went back, and then we were just dealing with it for a bit, and we were gonna just deal with the audio issues, right? I remember, and then
and then it would jump a nanosecond.
But then it was
forward.
like glitching out, so then it became like now we're fighting multiple issues, so it's like okay, we're not gonna watch it like that. We're gonna.
And then it worked on my iPad, and then we were fine.
Yeah, I think there was like a bit of a delay at points, but like I think it was either not that big or like it was later on. I noticed
the lesser of several evils.
Yeah, it was later on to the point where I'm like,
we
had maybe like the main event left or something. I was just like, okay,
we'll just get through it.
At this point, it's like we can't keep.
Full disclosure, we did not watch the Collision hour. We watched it bled into Collision. We saw a couple minutes and then we gave up and watched Kill Bill 2 instead.
Yeah, we crapped out after the Hangman Shibata match.
Right.
Odd, which I didn't think was the main event, but it was.
It was not a. Anyways, we'll get to that.
Yeah,
I won't say anything.
We're
busy talking about the opening squash match.
Yeah. Ricochet, he did give MVP shade for messing up the name of the national title the other week, which he did.
He did.
So that's fair. And
that's an irritating thing to do to people, so it makes sense for Ricochet to do it, right?
It does. He says after he wins, the fans and Lashley will give him the respect he deserves, and AEW wouldn't be here without him. And then he gets chucked out of the ring by Lashley on the go, which I thought was kind of funny. And then we roll right into the match. Lashley takes out Con Leona at ringside. He knocked Leona over into the timekeeper's area. Pump knee, couple of head kicks from Ricochet. Running shooting star and a middle row moonsault from Ricochet for 2. Went for the spear gun. Lashley blocked his spine buster and a spear, and it's over. It was crazy. 5 minutes or something.
Crazy. It was 3 minutes.
Really?
Yeah. So it was like an NXT level. So yeah, Ricochet got a ton in the middle, and then it was just kind of over. So
or a ton.
There's not much to say.
I just thought it was a very strange choice.
So I'm wondering, is this, and we'll get to our Full Gear picks. I thought we would do it right after Dynamite because it makes the most sense. We'll just stay on the topic of AEW. So are they trying to let us know that, is this a red herring that Ricochet got squashed and Lashley looks like a dominant singles guy?
I was telling you,
I don't want to reveal my pick.
I won't spoil picks, but I'll tell you it's not Lashley. I don't think it's Lashley.
I also did not take Lashley. So.
I think of the 3 people we know to be in this for sure, Lashley's the one I'm certain isn't winning.
So I didn't quite understand this.
That's my thing with it too. Is I don't even necessarily think it's a terrible call. I just don't understand it.
Same.
Because Lashley looking dominant, that's fine. That makes sense. I don't know why it came at Ricochet's expense. It's just...
And they've had this lengthy feud with all different combinations, and then they finally get one-on-one, and it's a 3-minute squash.
Yeah, it's because Ricochet was overconfident in the beginning. He was not taking it super
needs
serious.
The other guys to be functional. I don't know. Maybe there's a story coming out of it. I guess.
So, right? It's just I don't
But it feels like those groups should be done with each other, not ramping up.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it felt like they were over. Then he cost them the trios match, and then now it's like, then they had the Wrestle Dream match, and now we're like they're kind of feuding heading into this.
So yeah, it wasn't long enough to have a strong opinion. I just don't quite understand it.
That was my thing, right? I just thought it was kind of an odd choice. Like Lashley looks good, but it does feel like that classic, get one up before the pay-per-view so you don't win.
Ricochet made his Lashley spear look good in that
true.
case. So
I do think I think Ricochet's most likely, at least of the people we know.
Yeah. And I think it would be smart when you're making predictions to predict someone that you know is actually in the match. So
because it's kind of tricky. Because like last time we had the gauntlet match at All In, that was the one that MJF won. Obviously, we knew him and Briscoe were the starting people. I think in that one we knew him, Briscoe, and Mystico. I think were in it. And then we've had other times where like Ospreay wins them, but we don't know he's gonna be in it because it's usually those are the ones on TV. Or like Hobbs won one, didn't he? I think it was before Maximum Carnage, right? Because he got the title shot at Maximum Carnage.
Maximum Carnage.
But like, yeah, so it does make more sense. But it could be someone else. But I do feel like they're kind of like they seem to be pushing Ricochet as a potential champion, and then a lot of people are pushing Shelton as well, which I think also
until he loses in 3 minutes on the opener on Dynamite. Yeah,
right. So it's interesting.
It is.
Anyways, then we get a quick Joe promo. He talks about Hangman being a fighting champion, and he's got the company behind him. Hangman's world of joy and happiness are going to change very quickly, and his punishment begins tonight in the form of Shibata. Shibata will begin his payment, and then Joe will collect that full gear. And Shibata shouts at Japanese.
Yeah, I think the idea somewhere in there, Joe was basically like he's not allowed at ringside for Shibata's, and he's kind of blaming Hangman for that.
Yeah,
which makes sense from a heel perspective. And like he uses his vocabulary is awesome.
It's very strong.
So to me, and this is obviously stealing, he is the cerebral assassin. Like that name fits Samoa Joe to me way better than it ever fit Triple H. And I was a fan of Triple H for a while too.
I feel like I've seen like some posts where people talk about like name a really classic Triple H match that didn't have stipulation.
Right. So
I don't know if you can.
I can't, but even probably people who remember things can't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't watch Triple H.
But Joe just comes across as so intelligent, but also like he will kill you. That is very believable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Joe. He's always so great. There wasn't a lot here of note that I found, but I thought it's just really good.
He did what pros do. He spent the last half of it putting Shibata over, right, as believable.
Even though,
so
I mean, it's
not, right.
Sorry, it's Shibata.
Right.
But yeah, no, this was great, and it also leaves Shibata not having to speak as well, which I think is
right.
Right. Then we get a quick Bucks interview. Renee asks again to join the Callis film, and Callis kind of cuts her off, not trying to reveal the answer yet. And he says they have a big match tonight. They'll give the answer afterwards, and you hear their music hit. They're walking out for the match. It was solid. We're delaying the inevitable. We roll right into the trios match, which was them teaming with Alexander against Skyflight, which is Scorp and Top Flight.
And I forgot Daniels was here or involved with any faction or anything. Really,
I don't hate that. Honest. Like, even though it's not that important,
whatever.
I think it's kind of cool just because like it kind of keeps the SCU alignment with him and Scorp.
True. Yeah.
And then it's like kind of like it makes sense because Daniels is super experienced, so like the coach kind of thing. It makes sense. I think it's kind of cool, even though it doesn't really mean anything to me.
Yeah.
Callis does the long-winded intro for the Bucks again on the Tron, so kind of like he did. I don't know if it wasn't last week, but whatever the last time it was, he's doing that again. Really trying to sway the Bucks. We get Skyflight with some really clean offense to Alexander. They're all kind of like going in and out, hitting some really fluid stuff. Then they take out Matt as well. Nick is able to kind of combat them, take out Sky and Darius, but then Dante hits him with a suicide dive. We get Dante doing like a double springboard into like, it's just like a sliced bread powerbomb with Darius on Alexander. I thought that was pretty cool, which got a 2 count. Dante avoids a BT trigger, knocks the Bucks out of the ring, and then a huge dive to the floor. The finish comes when Alexander blocks Dante trying to vault over the ropes. He throws in the mat, which they get in the TK driver that connects. Then Alexander, instead of going for the pin, locks him in an ankle lock, and Dante taps. We get Callis cutting the music, and then he grabs a mic. He says he knows this is a big moment. He talks about how much better he has made life for the Bucks, and it's in their best interest, so he tells them to announce it. They're kind of hesitant. So he continues talking, saying AEW can be a very dangerous place, and walking around without a family can lead to bad things happening. He'd hate to see what happened to Omega happen to them. Omega then comes out. He comes out of the chair, takes out Romero and Davis in the entranceway. gets in the ring, brawls with Alexander. The Bucks kind of look on. We kind of get a moment with them after Alexander's down. Then Alexander comes back, attacks from behind, ankle lock on Omega. Callis gets back in the ring, says he has a better idea. He tells Alexander, or at least he wants the Bucks to like show him they're in, and they set up for the BT trigger. They're kind of contemplating it. Jurassic Express come out. Perry has a shovel, and Luchasaurus has a vacuum.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I thought was really funny.
My first note says Alexander done dirty on the entrance. It's because he was just stapled onto.
He just like kind of walks out afterwards like Callis. I was like, come on, man.
Bucks
At least he got the win though.
Yes,
he did get the win.
I thought Dante looked incredible, and he really got the crowd involved.
He did. I thought Dante was definitely the standout here. I thought his shorts tights looked weird, but
yeah, it started out slow, and then he sort of brought things to life. But
I thought in general Skyflight looked pretty good.
But it's hard to care because
I don't care, but like I feel like. That's what I was thinking. I think they're the perfect mid-level trio, though, because they could have these entertaining trios matches on TV, but they're not going to win the titles or anything.
Yeah, because this was the matches to get to the aftermath, so let's have fun with this
But,
group.
like, I think they're a decent trio to have on TV every now and then. Like, they look pretty solid here.
And the Bucks exist somewhere between the Callis family and Omega right now, and they're going to have to make their choice, obviously, probably at Full Gear. It's like a classic wrestling story, and like it can be done well. So, and I like it brings in Jurassic Express too. So
it was a decently entertaining match to get to like the storyline.
And I thought the storyline progression was fine as well. So effective. Nothing was amazing, but all effective. I would say.
With the match still coming at Full Gear, I think I kind of expected this to be like not like a bait and switch, but like prolonged further. I kind of expected that. I'm a little disappointed to talk about Callis for a second that the Takeshita Okada thing is kind of like softened a bit. I would assume maybe Takesha's doing Japan commitments, which is maybe why he's not really here right now. But they're teaming with, I want to say Hechicero. I don't know. They have the shot at the CMLL Trios titles on the pre-show because Okada beat Dorada in that Double Jeopardy match that was on the Collision Hour.
It's Dorada and people, right?
Dorada and other people. Yeah, I don't know who
on the pre-show.
I want to say Mystico's one of them. I don't
actually know. I'll look it up.
Just look up the card for the pre-show and you'll probably find it. But yeah, like so because I really thought like after the Wrestle Dream match that was awesome with Brodito, I thought like we were gonna get. It's like okay, the payoff is a match at Full Gear, but I guess you can't really do that if the plan is hopefully to do like use the C2 to like, build to their match. Like I guess you can't do it here, so I guess that makes sense to kind of back burner and then you have.
As long as they come back to it.
And if we're to harken back to my
Dorada,
layout,
Mystico, Neon.
Okay, that makes sense.
Versus Takeshita Okada, Hechicero.
Called it. To harken back to my layout for the tournament, if we were to do that too, you would have Takeshita facing off with like Fletcher and Alexander, who are also in the family. And there's not issues between them, but like then you're already kind of priming Takeshita as like fighting the Callis family guys, and then it kind of works its way around because we were saying like, oh, you could have Takeshita fight his way up through the Callis family to get to Okada, and this is your kind of way of doing that if you don't want to do that all the way, because like otherwise then you could be like, oh, is he gonna wrestle Davis or Rocky or Archer? Like there's so many people who could wrestle if we're doing that whole thing, so this kind of gives you that kind of avenue.
And it makes them all a little bit salty, so they're more on Okada's side because they're losing to this guy.
Yeah, and I don't think it would be a bad thing if Fletcher lost to Takeshita. In fact, I'd prefer it at this day and age just because I think Takesha's closer to winning a bigger title than Fletcher's. I think Fletcher, because I think he's going to...
And it's a way to do it without a title changing hands, too.
Right, yeah, because right now...
tournament structure.
Right now, let's say Fletcher retains, there's no title on the line. And if he doesn't, then obviously there's no title at stake. And then also, Takesha's not defending the IWGP title against Fletcher, right? So there's that as well. But yeah, I guess that's why I was just a little disappointed we didn't get to see Takesha or Okada like on the big show, but that's all right.
Yep.
Anyways, yeah, this was a fun trios match. The angle was good. And the trios match, I'm really excited to get because it's basically getting a Dynamite trios match on a pay-per-view.
So more time and more craziness, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm also excited, and we'll talk about it later, to get Mox O'Reilly, because that's a match that was really good on TV.
Yes.
So hopefully it's also pretty good on pay-per-view. We get a quick interview with the Babes of Wrath, which is Willow and Harley. Willow says maybe they didn't beat Sisters of Sin hard enough in Blood and Guts, and they'll be the ones smiling after the semifinals. And Harley gets all energetic, saying they're going to be the first tag champs. It was solid. It's just energetic, and the crowd seems into them. I could see them as winning the tournament, if not Storm and Mina, but I do think it's probably Storm and Mina.
I love Willow and like Cameron. This was a little bit over the top for me.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
Came off as a little bit forced to me.
That was why I was like, it was energetic, you know?
Yeah, it was energetic for sure.
I had a feeling you were going there.
And what was it when they had to say Babes of Wrath and then Sisters of Sin? Like, it's a lot.
Timeless Love Bombs.
That too. Like, they were in this era of like the women's tag teams having to have names.
Obviously I think having names is better. I don't hate it for Harley because it feels in character for her to do something like kind of like that. Yeah. And unfortunately, like I don't think the Timeless Love Bombs. I was gonna say like it's kind of in character for Storm too. Not really. I feel like Storm, if it were in character, I feel like she would go with a weirder name.
Yeah, probably. You know some innuendo.
Like I feel like it's oddly, like it feels like it follows standard tag team naming conventions.
Right, rather than
kind of like it feels like more of a Jet Speed. You know, where like you're combining like with Timeless and like the Love Bombs, kind of Mina, like you know. Mm-hmm. So it's like it feels like that kind of thing. Where you're merging their two kind of gimmicks rather than like, because I feel like if it was a Storm name, I feel like it would be something
dirty.
More
double entendre.
Innuendo, double entendre-ish, right?
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, I feel like this name is though pretty in character for
it is
Harley, and I guess it is kind of that combination aspect too, because Willow's whole thing was like they call it like the babe with the power bomb. It's like her gut wrench thing, and then Harley Cameron's always doing Feel the Wrath. So I guess it's kind of that same combination aspect, but it feels like something Harley would. So it's at least in character first. Sisters of Sin, I think, is probably my least favorite just because it's like it. It's just so like, it's just the alliteration. It's like sometimes alliteration's good, but it just doesn't work for me sometimes.
I'm not a fan of it in this case either.
It also doesn't help that we don't like them.
No, Yes, they're not special.
Because it's like...
They don't need a name.
If they were really great, then I probably wouldn't mind the name as much. Like
and then their faction has a name, and they have a name, and it's just...
Yeah.
It's a lot of time invested into people I don't really care that much about. Because,
like, the Ops wasn't the best name ever either, but, like, it works because I like Joe's great and Hobbs and Shabbat. Like, it just works because
now that they're heel, too, everybody is an Op to them sort of thing.
That's true. That also kind of makes it better as well. But, like... If they were called something kind of wacky like Sisters of Sin, I feel like they would probably still work out okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Like, I'm not saying it would make it automatically a good name, but
they could overcome it.
Yeah, right? Yeah. As Sisters of Sin, it's just like, I don't...
Yeah.
It's just
they don't do much for us.
Then we get the other gauntlet match, spot match thing stuff. It's Shelton Benjamin and Speedball, which is... pretty sweet match. I wouldn't mind Shelton in the C2 again, but I feel like if I don't
mind him anytime.
It's gonna happen just because like I feel like either he wins the title or he's chasing the title. Mm-hmm. So yeah, because like he got in the C2 not too long after. It wasn't that long after he debuted.
I feel like it was pretty close.
But like I think that was really eye opening for a lot of people. Like that was like
he's awesome. I'll watch him wrestle anything.
I remember, too, that was the one where Juice was in it, but then he got injured, he did. Right? That was the injury that took him out until All In this year. And then Commander replaced him, and Commander was, like...
Awesome.
Pretty sick, too.
Yeah.
Then he beat, like, I think it was Brass Knucks, he beat Claudio, right? Because that's when Darby was feuding with them, and there was, like, shenanigans going on.
I believe that is correct.
Yeah. Anyways, heavy kicks in the corner from Speedball. Shelton catches a dive on the floor from Speedball, and he body slams him hard on the floor.
Simple-looking body slam.
Like, that's one of the best body slams I've seen.
Shout out to Psycho Mike.
Yeah.
Gimmick infringement.
It is. Thrust kick and a huge shooting star from Speedball for 2. Standing moonsault knee drop from Speedball for 2. Transition and armbar off the kick out. Shelton powers out and just tosses him. Just, this man's not 50.
No.
Shelton floors him with a super kick for 2. But Speedball doesn't lift his shoulders. Apparently there's a miscommunication with the ref.
Sure was. The ref just stopped counting and no one moved.
But they count no matter what.
That's right. They always are told to count. Finish the count no matter what.
Then Shelton hits a big German step-up knee, super kick again, and he gets the win.
Yeah, I thought this was a really good match. Maybe my favorite on the show.
I'd say so. It was pretty entertaining for how short it was.
Bailey looked really strong in a loss that I expected. And, like, it's too good to go with the story of Lashley and Benjamin going 1-2, right?
Yeah,
like, it'll give some real energy to that for the crowd, I think, off the bat. I think so.
And once you had Lashley win, you could kind of tell it's where it was going to. But if I would argue, even if Ricochet wins, that also makes it more likely to Shelton wins because then they're feuding, right?
Yes.
So realistically, I don't think there was a scenario where Speedball was that likely. But he looked good here. I thought Speedball's always super entertaining, and Shelton's a damn beast. It's unfathomable that he is 50 years old or however old he is, because he should not be super kicking and tossing fools like he is. Like, it's just insane. He's great. A really fun contrast of styles here.
Yeah, everything still seems fresh with Bailey. I'm really happy with how he's been presented and how visible
he's doesn't always
he's
win,
been.
But I feel like generally he's done pretty well.
And I just thought there's a really good chance when he came to any company, he's going to get lost in the shuffle.
That's true. Him
but
and
he's
Knight,
been very visible.
I think teaming him with Knight has been helpful with that.
And
too.
every match he has is fun. So I think he's been a good addition, and they've used him really. Like, he's never going to be the face of your company. He's never going to be a major champion, but they're using him really effectively, I think.
I agree.
And I'm happy for the Canadian.
The botch finish was odd, and I think
it was.
People did think
Didn't
Speedball
kill
was
me.
concussed. It did look that way.
In the moment, if you hadn't said anything, that was my thing, right? Or did I even said it like, or did he just knock him out? But then they wouldn't go back to more stuff to the head if that were the case.
I think it's just like Sheldon thought that first super kick was so good, it should be the finish, and the ref didn't get that communication, which I don't disagree. That inside
it did
super
look
kick, it was
tough.
Nasty. I'll never forget, I think it was like the first match or one of the first matches he had where he like super kicked the soul out of Leo Rush.
Right. Oh,
that
Leo
was
Rush.
something else.
He's awesome.
That was something else. Then we move on to Mox and Claudio taking on Roddy and Orange Cassidy. A lot of you tapped out chants for Moxley. Tilt-a-whirl DDT to Mox from Cassidy. Claudio catches a crossbody, lifts Cassidy up into a suplex. Cassidy counters in a Stun Dog Millionaire. Cassidy goes for a suicide dive. Claudio catches him. Military press, throws him in the barricade. Roddy with the hot tag flurry. Tiger bomb from Strong. Mox kicks out, and off that, we get a switch in the Stronghold. Paradigm shift to Strong. Cassidy breaks the pin. Then Orange punch to Mox. Yuto comes in for the distraction. Claudio with a pop-up uppercut. Then Mox chokes out Cassidy in the Bulldog choke. They attack Cassidy after the bell, but then O'Reilly comes down and he goes right for Moxley, takes him down, takes the Death Riders, they get taken out. Then he gets him the ankle lock. Mox is tapping again. He gets stomped by Yuta, but he's hanging on until Yuta and Garcia gang up on him. Then he lets go, but then he gets it back on again, and eventually Mox gets pulled to safety, and O'Reilly challenges him to no holds barred at Full Gear.
Yeah, the tag match was good, as you would expect. I didn't think it was amazing. It was, again, more about getting to the aftermath, and we're both, I'm sure, really happy to see O'Reilly getting the exposure
I am very pleased to see it.
And I think a no holds barred match, I think storyline-wise, that's a poor choice for him because that sort of favors Moxie, right?
But he does have allies as well, to be fair.
He does. But like, this is how quickly you can build somebody if you really want to. And I'm not saying they're building O'Reilly to be like a champion or whatever, but
I think you could go make terms with him.
They quickly have made it feel like he belongs with a top tier guy, right? So it feels like you could argue that maybe he could make Mox tap again.
I do think it's not impossible.
We'll talk about it in our predictions, but yeah, the match was good, and I'm just happy to see O'Reilly getting some attention.
I do. We love O'Reilly. He's fantastic. My only complaint was I thought last week was supposed to be the end of like the groups fighting, so this kind of felt like a retread of it.
Yes, it did.
It was a fun match. I thought it was pretty good, but that was probably my main issue. And my thing with the no holds bar stipulation is like pretty similar to the no DQ with Fletcher and Briscoe. So I would have liked something like
same thing,
like maybe a submission match.
Yeah,
like that would have been
because then again, if O'Reilly suggests that you could argue favors him,
and it's not unfair to Moxley because Moxley has a submission of his own.
Right, and
Mox isn't a bad submission wrestler. Right. So that would have worked better for me. I think it was just to get to post match, which I think we could have accomplished this in a segment, but it was still good. The only thing that worries me for O'Reilly's chances is him tapping out Moxley again here, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to lose. Right?
No, it doesn't.
Roddy was the highlight of this match for me. His cardio game is always so good. I love Roddy so much.
He's great.
I really hope he's in the C2 because I would love to see Roddy wrestle every week.
He's a guy like O'Reilly. If they wanted to really quickly, you could just build him into something credible because in ring, he's so fun.
Yeah. Remember that match they had at Dynasty last year? That was really good when O'Reilly had his long boy hair.
Long boy hair.
Yeah. That was a really good match. I'm really excited to see them in a pay-per-view setting, like I mentioned earlier, like because their TV matches were so strong. I think giving them uninterrupted pay-per-view time is going to be so entertaining.
I hope so.
And I think there's potential to tell a story with Mox and Death Riders losing faith in him because he's been dropping some big matches this year.
I think they should tell that story.
I think so. I think that should be done. But in order to do that, I think O'Reilly should win. So I think you have potential to do something special with O'Reilly here. And I say, why not?
I know. I agree.
Right? But we'll talk about that later. Then we get a quick Brody interview. Brody talks about FTR attacking Legends and Family, but they're one of the best tag teams in AEW, but they haven't beaten them, and they will go home empty-handed at Full Gear. Bandito says they never stop fighting. That was pretty much it.
Nothing
Not much
special
here.
This isn't their strength. Their strength is in-ring chemistry.
Yeah.
So
kind of lackluster for the go-home build. I thought
felt super like 80s. Here's just a quick promo
but
before.
That's fine, I guess.
Yeah, these guys aren't wizards on the mic, so this is what you do.
Mm-hmm. Then we got Omega and Jurassic Express promo quick. Omega talks about the Bucks, and he says they prove money can't buy friendship, and Callis proves that money can't buy family, or that it can, something like that. He says it doesn't matter how much money there's, nothing can save them for what's going to happen in a Full Gear. Their time is coming, and then he does his sign-off thing. Also very basic, but Omega sounded really good. Good to see him, because it was promised that he would speak, and he only kind of got beat up earlier. Mm-hmm. So at least this was getting him a promo, and it was fine.
And it's a top-tier guy back, because I keep forgetting they're missing MJF as well.
MJF Osprey, Switchblade.
If you want to say White in there too, right?
I do.
Yeah, I know you do. So it is nice to have one of the big guys back again. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then we get Timeless Love Bombs, which I don't like saying, versus Riho and Alex Windsor in the women's tag tournament. Remember when Windsor was like...
Sorry, how did Windsor and Riho get together? Do I know this?
I remember they teamed once before Riho faced Monet in Toronto. Like, that was like one of those...
That's back in the day.
It was like one of those team with people before the pay-per-view thing.
Yeah. And they just enjoyed working with each other and built solid chemistry, so they branched into a team. No name?
So, the tiny British Asians.
Only one of them's tiny.
And only one of them's British and only one of them's Asian.
That is all true.
See how well that works. New tag team for Storm and Mina. Great. I guess. I don't know. I don't care. Mina hit a DDT to Riho while she has Windsor's legs tied up. That was kind of cool. Storm hot tag flurry. Rio rolled through stomp to Mina for 2. I almost said Miha. I almost combined it. I was like, that's not right. Windsor with the cannonball off the apron to Storm. Mina locks Riho in the figure 4. They reverse the pressure. Storm reverses it back. Reverse it again. And again, it keeps going back and forth. Storm starts getting again. Windsor stops her. They take each other out. Hip attacks in stereo from Mina and Storm. Storm 0 for the win. Timeless Love Bombs advance.
I actually I thought this was really entertaining by the end. The first half was kind of standard, and then I thought, like, as the referee started to lose control or whatever.
I thought it was solid. I didn't really get into it, though.
I actually preferred it to the men's one before this, slightly, I think. And I kind of forgot about Alex Windsor. I quite like her, and I don't know what it is, but I find her a little bit different from everybody else, and in a good way.
I'm a little disappointed that we kind of, like... I had at least a pause from her singles push.
That's what I mean. I kind of, she's still around and she's cool. And now she's tagging with Riho for some reason.
And she's
but
with Osprey.
I thought the second half of this was really good. I liked it.
Mm-hmm. Windsor and Riho were in control of Law, which it was kind of like you said with the first match with Hayter and Amanada. Like, it kind of telegraphed that they weren't winning.
Right. They're not going to dominate that much against bigger names and win.
Yeah, right. And I wish we'd see Windsor more. I like her a lot. But we've never been big Riho fans.
No, sometimes in ring I like her, but sometimes not.
I can't wait for Tony Storm to be a champion again.
Me too.
Yeah. Then we get a Briscoe Fletcher interview. Fletcher talks about their record against each other, how he's won more often, and he's one defense away from the record in one TNT championship reign, like defense records, which I actually didn't know. So if that's true, that's really cool for him.
Yeah,
but that was kind of neat.
I don't think he'd lie.
I don't think so. Callis says when Fletcher wins, Briscoe can thrive under a real family. Briscoe says he's going to make his family proud, and then he gets attacked by Hechicero, and I think it was Hechicero and Okada. And then Callis says, you're going to make your family proud. I'm going to make your kids orphans.
Yeah.
Which I thought was an awesome line.
A lot of orphans. There's a lot of kids there. I think.
Fletcher thanks Okada. Okada says he was glad to help because Takeshita couldn't. So I like that. Like, at least we got that.
I thought he stole the scene in like the last few seconds.
Okada's comedic timing is amazing.
The amount he gets out of doing so little.
Well, like, his thing for the first at least year of his existence in AEW was saying bitch. And 9 times out of 10, hilarious. I laughed my ass off.
Yeah. So I think there's a chance we somehow get to a best of 7 because he started off referring to like the score in the series sort of thing.
I don't think you're wrong, but I don't
know if we need it, but
I don't think we need
won't
it right
hate it
away,
either.
but I also don't think that means Briscoe doesn't win, because if, let's say, Fletcher wins this, well, actually, Briscoe would need to win it for it to be best of 7.
Is that right?
Because Fletcher's up 3-2.
Yeah.
So I guess Briscoe would have to win, but like if Fletcher wins 1, then he's up ahead even further, and 2, then they're both in the cow swing, making it less likely that they're gonna fight. So I think Briscoe kind of has to win. I think we could get best of 7. I could see like, I probably wouldn't do the 7th match though till like early next year, like maybe Revolution or something. I wouldn't mind it, but like give it some time to breathe.
I agree. If you're gonna go that route, let it breathe for a bit,
and then that could be like Fletcher can put him over one more time before Fletcher kind of moves up further.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think maybe in the time you don't have them fighting, you either have Fletcher in the C2 or do the Fletcher Omega match that we were supposed to get.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
But yeah, I don't disagree with the best of 7 series, and I also don't hate it either.
We'll see when we predict after this.
Yeah, and then I also loved Okada's little appearance. Just a bit more against Takeshita, and also just, he's so entertaining. I love him. I love him a lot. Pac promo next. He talks about wanting to break Darby's neck last week and didn't happen. And he says he challenged Darby to legitimate competition. When everything is stripped away, there's no world where someone like Darby beats someone like him. That doesn't do it justice, but
he's great.
Love Pac promos. He may have changed his entire look and his style. He might not be the Pac we know and love, but when he's on the stick, he's still the same
promos
Pac.
like this that want, if we're going with the Moxleys out, I would love to see this guy ascend.
It's so funny that, like, because we were talking about this when we were watching it, and we had the exact same thought, even though, like, we hadn't mentioned it before, but, like, if the Death Riders turn on Moxley and we get a new leader, likely it's Claudio.
But it should be Pac.
It should absolutely be Pac.
He's just a better speaker. He's got more edge to him. To me, he fits.
I think I like him a little more in the ring. On, like, their best day, I probably would rather watch a Pac match than a Claudio match.
I would have for sure. And I like Claudio, but I love Pac.
Yeah.
And Claudio's better as the silent strongman too.
Yeah, I like his role currently as like the emissary of violence, whatever they call him.
Yeah.
Perfect.
There
He's
you
great.
go. So I like this a lot.
Pac. And then we could call them the Pac Bull Combat Club.
We could.
Because that was my favorite thing, was when Pac randomly got paired with them.
And I'm not saying I want them to on TV, but we will.
I will never stop calling them Pac Bull. Like, because before they were there was like that 2-week or so window where they were teaming together before they were like Death Riders, when they were still Blackpool, but like Pac was just there. So they were the Pac Bull Combat Club. It was great.
Bring it back.
Well, because you know what's so funny about that is, remember, because they got put together in that ladder match in London last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that was supposed to be Death Triangle. Mm-hmm. So like, what's I wonder what the timeline looks like in that the Death Riders, like, let's say like, they just don't have Pac, but then Death Triangle's there. So like, would it be Mox, Yuta, and Claudio would then like maybe beat Death Triangle for the titles then? Like, you know, like the timeline looks different from if Pac, like if Death or the Lucha Bros, didn't leave.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
In a way. And like, I wonder how the Death Riders would have played out there, because like Pac was a decently integral part of that, right? Like,
yeah.
So I it would be interesting to see how that played out. But it's just funny how, like, I remember in the moment thinking, because they won a qualifying match again there, and we were all like, I remember thinking, why is Pac teaming with like Black? Like, that's random. It's so, and like,
that was a long time ago.
Now we're like a year and a half
the
later, and like, yeah, well, he's like entrenched in this faction. He looks completely different. We're like, oh yeah, he should lead this faction. It's like,
he should.
Okay,
that's what I want.
It's so interesting. But yeah, I would love to call him the Pac Bull Combat Club, because I mean, like, are they still gonna be the Death Riders if Moxley's gone?
That's,
like,
I don't know.
Death Riders, like, that's his thing. It's his finisher. It's his nick. Like, that's his thing.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see if they keep that, because I don't know that they would. But anyways, great promo. It was like dimly lit. It looked really cool.
He's great.
We love Pac. Then we get our main event, which is Hangman Page versus Katsuyori Shibata.
Still never got my explanation as to why Shibata turned heel with Joe, other than just allegiance to Joe.
Or why he's in the main event.
Yeah, that too. No offense.
Sorry, Shibata.
We like Shibata.
I love Shibata. Hell, I'm saying put him in the C2.
This is one of those main events where it's like, this is not a main event.
Yeah, on a go-home show too. Yeah. Hangman attacks Shibata from behind during his entrance. Snap suplex on the floor from Shibata. Shibata back heel trip. Hangman blocks the PK. They get back up. Or, sorry, not back up. They're back and forth with the counters. Hangman at the corner lariat. Shibata corner boot. snap German from Shibata, then he hits a low blow behind the rest back, and then like kind of like disguises it as grabbing. He's like grabbing Hangman's arm from in between his legs. It was interesting like tactic, I thought. Armbar from Shibata, Juge. Shibata applies an ankle lock to Hangman. He gets away when his boot slips off, Eddie Guerrero style. Then we get a buckshot for the win. And then Hangman cuts a quick promo saying Joe's now alone. Hobbs is in the hospital, and he sent Shibata to a dick surgeon.
Yeah.
He wants him to remember what he did last time he was in a cage match, and he'll do it again if he has to.
Mm-hmm. Like, the match was good. Like, everything on this show.
Nothing wrong with the match, yeah.
Like, nothing was bad, but nothing was amazing that I think people need to rush out and see either. So
I think this pales in comparison to Blood and Guts.
Yes, for sure. For sure. The pre-existing injury to Page meant that Shibata could realistically dominate for stretches, right? Because Hangman had his ribs taped or whatever. And that the idea is Hangman's further softened up. And I guess that makes it a tiny bit more believable that Joe has a chance to win. Because wasn't his first title win sort of a surprise too?
Joe or Hangman?
Joe's.
Yes.
Right? So, I mean, the precedent's there for him to win.
Yeah, because remember his MJF's like long-ass run, and then he won it at World's End, and we were like, oh, what?
So I guess the precedent is there for that to happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, good main event, but not like really a main event.
I think overall, this show falls a little flat for me just on this merit of it being a go-home. Like, all the matches...
And it followed one of the best Dynamites ever.
And it followed... That's true. It followed probably one of my favorite Dynamites we've ever seen.
That's what I'm saying.
Right? And I, like... So, a bad show? No, because none of the matches were bad.
Agree.
But a lot of them felt like not inconsequential, but some of them did. Like, the main event felt inconsequential. And I guess you'd have stakes with, like, the gauntlet spots in the tournament. But it just felt like... I don't know. I feel like more should have happened for a go home.
It didn't feel as important as I had hoped.
No.
Yeah. What was your grade if you had to give it one? I feel like you're between two.
I would probably go with the B, just because like
choice.
It's not. I don't think it's low enough to be a B minus, but like
usually a B minus show. There's a couple things I didn't like.
There's nothing I didn't like. It's just I just felt a little shortchanged. I think is maybe
nothing I loved either. Yeah. I went with the B as well.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna move right into Full Gear predictions. I think since we're at that point. So I thought in general.
I forgot to do my scores. Just keep talking while I do that.
I did not find this show easy to make picks for.
It is more difficult than the other ones.
There are some pay-per-views with AEW and probably a lot of them with WWE where I just pick like it's very obvious and I pick.
WWE especially, I feel like lately.
I also think that our record shows that we do a really good job of picking. Like our percentage of being right is pretty high. We've had AEW shows with like 10 or 11 matches where we picked everything correctly in the past. So
I'll never forget Mania 39 where I picked the entire thing clean until Cody shit the bed at the end.
I think there was an 11 match AEW one not long ago. We both picked everything.
I think it was Forbidden Door. Because those are usually
I struggled with certainty scores on a lot of these, and then I struggled, which I'll explain, I guess, in case there's anyone new. We always make predictions for major pay-per-views for AEW and WWE. We ended in ties a lot because we live together, we talk wrestling together, we share DNA, so we sometimes have some similar opinions. So to add an extra layer to hopefully not have as many ties, we do a certainty score, which as like in the case of this pay-per-view, there's 9 matches. So the match I am most certain about my pick, I would give 9 points. The match I am least certain about on this card, I would give 1 point. Or certainty score of 1, and then everything in between. So as far as we know, there's 9 matches scheduled for this show, so our certainty scores will range from 1 to 9. I actually put more thought into this than usual and made notes and sort of fantasy booked a little along the way. So
okay, I'm interested to hear that.
I usually take my cue from you, so in terms of where you want to start,
let me see.
I will defer to you.
Okay.
Get your points done?
I did. I managed to turn it out pretty quickly
there. We'll see if that costs you.
Yeah, I mean, it could end up working out pretty good.
It could.
Anyways, first off, I went with Darby Allin versus Pac. I would love Pac to win this, but Pac doesn't tend to win a lot, so I'm going to go with Darby.
That's as simple as it is.
And I'm taking Darby to 7.
Out of 7? Okay, I think that's what I had my first match too. So part of me really wants to say Pac and that he'll ascend and take over Death Riders once Mox is exiled, but not a big enough part of me. So I took Darby Allin too. Yeah. What was your score, sorry?
7.
So was mine. That's funny.
Right, well, that's boring.
I know. So here we go. We designed this to be different, and it's exactly the same.
Imagine the entire run.
Yeah.
O'Reilly, Moxley, no holds barred. I think most of the time this would be a foregone conclusion, but I think with how they've been telling us, there's a good chance to do something here. Moxley's been dropping big matches all year, and now multiple times at the expense of the Death Riders. I think it's a big chance to make O'Reilly big and make him legitimate and begin the dissension of the Death Riders. He's nearly beaten Moxley twice. He made him tap him blood and guts. I say now we go all in on it and make him look killer. The fans seem super into it. Like, they're chanting at Moxley. Mm-hmm. They were super hectic when he was tapping Moxley out on Dynamite. I think you do it. I'm taking O'Reilly only at a 4 because I'm not 100% sure, but I think like why not do it? And like that puts him in such a elite company. If you think about who's like beaten Moxley singles in a pay-per-view, there's like Hangman, Cassidy, Punk, Omega. I'm sure there's other ones I'm forgetting, but like that's some elite company, right? Mm-hmm. Pun intended.
Yeah.
I think there's like, if there's a time for a result like this, I think this is it. I'm not fully certain, but I'm gonna take a chance on O'Reilly there.
So we will not have the same picks here for the whole show. So obviously you can go Moxley loses again, pisses off the members of the Death Rider, or
if Moxley wins, what does that accomplish?
Or Death Riders have had enough of him turn on Mox, costing him the win.
That also works as well.
I prefer either of those, but I just feel it's Moxley, and I went 8.
Oh, okay.
There's an
interesting one right on that.
I think they're going to be like, we've done enough for O'Reilly. This is where we get off this
I don't
train.
know.
I don't want them to, but I just don't.
I'm not like going to obviously try to sway you or anything, but like my thing is just like with all that as well, and then it's like, what does Moxley gain from that?
It'll be worked into the story. He'll win and it'll further something, like they won't be happy with how he won, or they had to help him win because he was going to lose again. He was about to tap out and they had to step in and
I could see
interfere, like something. I don't know.
We'll see, I guess.
Yep.
Then we get Omega and Jurassic Express against Alexander and the Bucks, $1 million trio match. I don't have super strong thoughts on this one either way. I just don't feel like the Bucks are winning here. I think they're going to stay broke. Callis is like, they're down their luck. He's trying to prey on that. They're going to turn him down.
Yeah.
Omega's going to help them out, maybe lend them some money. And but I do think Omega and Jurassic Express are going to win. So
certainty score?
I'll take them at a 5.
So Callis family is huge. I don't see the Bucks joining, as well as Briscoe, if that ends up being the case. We'll get to that one.
Right.
Feels to me like a babyface win. Callis family attacks the faces after the match. Bucks kind of turn.
That I could also see.
Right,
well.
and help Omega to reform the Elite or whatever they're doing. And then the fantasy booking part, you use them to elevate the trios titles like overnight, that division. You just are like, here we go. And then they start to elevate it and make it really visible.
I think that would be really cool. Is because they've been talking about circling retirement, right? And I think that'd be cool. Like, that would be a cool thing to do with like not maybe their final act, but one of their final acts is like to revamp the belts that they brought in, right? I really wish Death Triangle was still around because that best of 7 series was amazing. So special.
So I'll take the Omega and Jurassic Express. I went a certainty score of 6 on that one. So close.
Okay. Then we have the 4-way women's tag where the winners pick their semifinal stipulation.
I found this one hard because...
because I don't really know.
It's the stakes are not high, so you could give it to anybody.
It's Shafir and Ford, or not Shafir and Ford, Shafir and Bane, my bad.
How dare you?
Megan, Bane, the Megasis. Shafir and Bane against Storm and Mina against Sisters of Sin, and then Babes of Wrath. I'm taking Babes of Wrath because I feel like they're pretty popular and Harley could pick some wacky stipulation. I do think, and I think it gives them some momentum because I do think Storm and Mina are more likely to win the tournament, so they don't really need it. And then, like, I don't know, I feel like it gives them something. You know
the idea, as soon as you said a wacky stipulation, I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. I went another route. I kind of felt like you need to have a heel team win to set like some evil, violent stipulation, and I'd rather it not be the Sisters of Sin. So, and because it's kind of a meaningless accolade, and you had to throw these women together anyways, maybe find a way for. I'm taking Bane and Shafir.
Interesting.
Because like, give them something. You know what I mean? Going into this. I gave it a 1 certainty score. Okay. What was yours?
2.
Okay. Yeah, pretty similar.
Then we had the Casino Gauntlet match for the inaugural AEW National Championship, with our only confirmed entries being Lashes, Shelty, and Ricochet. I know a lot of people are pulling for Shelton to win. I think he would be sick as a fighting traveling champion, but I think Ricochet is a better choice. I think everyone would hate it, which would get him a lot of heat, and just like he's just over as a heel.
I agree.
Shelton can give chase for a bit, which I think is also a good story to tell. And I see Ricochet is more likely to do indie/other promotional dates, which is the point of the title, right? So it would be better to get the title and the concept off the ground.
Yep.
And also, not my prediction, but I'm calling my shot and saying Switchblade will return.
So, I didn't pick how many entrants you were going to say.
Will say
that was a bonus.
I'm going to...
I got mine in mind already.
I'm saying my quantity is 12.
Wow. So that's.
I feel like we got a decent amount of people last time.
Is that going to work? Because I wanted to say 11. So you get 12 and everything over, and I get 11 and everything under. That doesn't seem fair for you. I guess maybe, because I wanted to take 11, but that kind of means like it's gonna. I guess it could go over 12, and you got a shot. I don't know what the history has been.
I don't. Like, yeah, I don't.
But we can just make it for fun. We don't have to actually count it if you don't want that.
No, I'll wager like a point on it.
Okay, so it's worth 1 point. So.
And then I am also getting 1 point from this because it's a gauntlet, so I didn't want to like risk too much on it, so I'm taking this at 1 just because.
I'm very similar. So I think like strategy wise, you have to take somebody that you know is in it. So that means I'm taking one of those 3. And I just think like you're saying, Ricochet would be great with the belt.
I think it just makes sense, right?
I also think like there's an opportunity here to have him win through shenanigans and not be like a legit champion while running his mouth every week with the belt about how great he is. And he's
like that quest for gold, right?
Right. And so he's got his heaters with him, and he can talk a bunch of trash about a title he didn't even win legitimately.
Right.
And I just think like he deserves to be rewarded for the run.
I agree. I think
that since like we were not sure this was going to work at all, and then when they went heel, I was really not sure.
But it's been so great.
Awesome.
I would put him as our top candidate for most improved.
And so I think he deserves. And I just think heel Ricochet with this title, and they've also elevated the GOA lately with their interactions.
I agree.
So I think this is the time, and I feel like now that I talk about it, I'm more certain, but I went with a 2 as well, just because there's so many people.
I feel like I'm decently certain. It's just I don't like. It's just these matches are so unpredictable.
Right.
You never know.
But
really,
fun.
Right?
So one of my 2.
Oh, I really.
Both of my favorite new matches are coming up, which is this and the Iron Survivor. So.
That's true. Then we get Brodito defending the tag titles against FTR.
Mm-hmm.
I think FTR have had a great run, and like this, especially in this feud, healing it up. They've done such a great job. I think it's
they
really
have.
Great.
They're
they
awesome
made a decent
right
case for themselves. I just don't feel it's time for Brodito to lose yet. I feel like you've done that too sometimes, where it's just like you just don't. I just don't feel it.
You going off vibes?
I think Brodito are just still super over and they're killing it. I just don't think it's time to stop. I do think FTR. It'd be good to have them with the belts at some point, but I don't think they need to get either. I think they're doing so great without the belts. I think Copeland has to wrap up filming soon, so I think we're gonna have to I think we're gonna do the payoff, like the big, whatever the brutal match is gonna be, because you know it's gonna be something.
You don't think it's for the titles?
I don't.
I do. We differ here.
I see.
So I just feel like Brodito was not part of the plan. Right? They got over organically, which is awesome, and I'm happy about it. But I think they want to resume the plan, and that plan is FTR, Cope, and Christian on some major stage for the title. Brodito's had a great run out of nowhere. They're solidified as a tag team, and I also think there's a chance they want Bandito as a single. So I'm taking FTR. I think that
Brodito at 6. I'm not gonna change it now because
I think this was a diversion from the plan, and they're like, okay, you guys have had your time and whatever. It's been great.
I don't want Brodito to end up now.
So I'm going FTR with 3 as my certainty score.
I'll probably shoot myself in the foot with that one.
I just feel like it's okay. Back to the original plan.
Could be.
This was a fun little detour while the Canadian boys were out doing whatever.
Could be.
We'll see.
Then we got Fletcher versus Briscoe, no DQ for the TNT title. If Briscoe loses, he's in the Callis family. I'm surprised we got another match of these two, but I don't think there's any way you can have Briscoe lose again and not capitalize on his popularity. And I also don't see him joining the Callis family. I think Fletcher's a made guy. He's going up either way. He doesn't need this belt anymore. And I think it's Briscoe's time. I'm taking this at an 8. It's Briscoe.
Wow.
Briscoe's. I was more certain. I was certain he would win it last time. He didn't. I think if you don't do it here, it's just not going to happen. And I think it needs to happen.
I did go back and forth on this one.
I think the stipulation especially made me more certain. I don't think Briscoe's joining them.
I think he might be.
I don't.
I think the idea is he's so over with the fans and so ripe to get sympathy from people that him being an indentured employee of Callis and not wanting to be there, and some of the TV they can do with that and the sympathy he can have with the fans. I would say
that maybe if
I'm taking Fletcher.
They hadn't done that feuds or this match so much, but I don't think this feud's going to continue.
I don't want to rework my certainty scores. I would after your plea there, but I have it at 5, so I'll leave it. You made me a little less.
I mean, I might have made a stupid bet on Brodito, so you know what? I'll respect the commitment. I'm going to stick to mine.
I think we balanced each other out there.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Okay.
Then we have Statlander versus Monet. I don't think we're giving Monet another belt. I just like I think having her win the world title in a sea of all the belts she has would just make the world title look less meaningful. And I don't think like I like if she had like maybe 3 or 4 belts and you want to argue like, oh, having 5 would be cool, then sure, like it maybe feels bigger, but she already has like 14. So you can't, I don't even think you can make the argument that like, oh, having the world title makes her look cool to have another belt. At this point, it's just so many belts, like another belt, whether she wins another belt or not, it doesn't matter. She just has like a million, like, does it really, what's the difference between her winning another belt or not?
So you're circling around exactly, I think, and you're going to agree with me because it's related to what you're saying. The story of this being her white whale and being the one that she can't get is so much more compelling than this is just her 14th belt.
I agree. And
I think they have to see that.
Yeah.
And it also will help solidify Statlander.
I agree, because
I think it also helps the belt be more prestigious.
I agree. That was my main thing, is that I'd rather this have like be the biggest prize of many, or like, sorry, I'd rather it be the prize instead of like the biggest prize of many that she has, right? It's like instead of having like this is the belt atop a pedestal where like she has all these indie belts and the TBS title and the ROH title and the Rev Pro title. I'd rather just like, it's like she doesn't have that one, so maybe then she loses sight of herself. She starts dropping these indie belts. She starts dropping the TBS title.
Right.
She goes on this downward spiral.
That story is
then
way
she
better.
finds herself again, and then that's when she makes the play for the world title. That's when she wins it.
And I think it's good for your company to say, look, this woman can go all around the world and win everything everywhere, but our belt is the one she can't
exactly
get.
Like, it's easy to win all these indie belts, but then it's like I don't think
I think
the world
that story is
in there.
so much more compelling.
And then to bring back to the point of legitimizing Statlander, I agree with that as well, because remember last year they faced off for the TBS title. Statlander dropped that match, and then they had a rematch at World's End. Statlander dropped that too. So Statlander's yet to beat. Monet is her white whale in a way, right?
Yes.
And at least in terms of like her AEW, where she's dropped consistent matches to her. So now I think Statlander needs the win.
If they're serious about having Stat at this level and maintaining, they can't have her lose.
I agree.
And I just think the Monet story of this is the one she can't win is
I
so
like
good.
that. I agree. I do worry a bit, so I'm taking Statlander to 3, but I do think it's Statlander.
I took Stat at 4, so we're pretty in sync on that one.
I'm a little surprised you agree, because I know you were saying, like, I remember initially you started out, you were saying Monet was going to win.
That. It's just, I'd like to give AEW credit, and that story is too easy. And
I agree. I feel
oh
like
boy, another belt, cool.
With WWE, it'd be a little more likely that like they kind of crap the bed and pull the rug out from Statlander.
The reaction of, oh my god, she didn't win, and then she's a heel and she's all whatever about it.
And like her losing, I think is still a big enough deal. Like I feel like the only singles match she dropped was to Storm, right?
And Stat needs it.
I agree. Then our last match, which I thought was the easiest to predict, which is Hangman and Joe.
9.
It's Hangman 9. I love Joe. I think he's doing great, and I think he's so fantastic for like as one of the older members of the roster. I think he's fantastic.
I love Joe. I would have no problem with another Joe title run.
Just not now.
And I know that we said the precedence there of him like shockingly winning a title.
That's because MJF was already like, he was long in the tooth of a run. He was like racking up injuries. Like it made sense for him to lose. But right now, Hangman's in the prime of like one of his best runs.
And if I'm not mistaken, wasn't his first run like, I don't know if cut short's the right thing to say, but like Punk was there, and then it sort of like his run wasn't as
Joe.
No, Hangman's.
Hangman, yes, that I would agree with that.
So
yeah,
I think this is like a redemption run.
I agree. I always felt like his run was cut short too, because
so
they wanted to put the title on Punk.
I
right?
agree.
I agree with that. That's
so
fair.
I feel like they know what they have in Hangman, and they know he's like face of the company.
He is their guy. I agree 100%.
He's winning 9.
I agree. Yeah,
certainty score.
I do like that one was. It was like that was the first one I filled out. Yeah, I was just like that at 9, and I think the first one, the one I did after that, I think was the Gauntlet, which is odd because I wasn't like, it's not like I was like certain. It was just like
that was a fun one because there was a lot we disagreed on, and B, like I was back and forth making picks, so it was fun.
Yeah.
All right, so now we'll finish with AEW for a bit. We'll move into trivia. I've got a fun trivia segment based on something we watched.
So you claim.
We'll talk about it. It's off the top of his head. All right, so what did we just watch literally as we were like, as we say, tinkering with our notes before we came down? What were we watching right as we were getting our
Dark Side?
Okay, and what was the episode mostly about?
UWF.
What was the main problem in there?
Cocaine
use. So I searched up using AI, and it won't do any speculation or anything. So this is 15 wrestlers with different clues. I took a while to get it to like give escalating difficulty of clues sort of thing. 15 wrestlers who have admitted to their own cocaine usage. Okay. So it's the cocaine era trivia quiz here. So first, so the clues are supposed to go from subtle to obvious. His career included acting roles and talk show appearances that expanded far beyond wrestling. And I'll say 80s and 90s. And then
they include acting and talk shows.
Yep. So somebody who was doing movies and things outside of.
Piper?
Correct. Wow, very good. And then it was famous for never really relying on pure size or power, yet always seen as dangerous. Hosted a segment that often led to chaos, storyline shifts, and then the one...
He definitely seems like the type.
And then I said there's one where it's supposed to be like obvious, and it was one smashed a coconut over Jimmy Snuka's head. So that's how this game gets played. Good guess. Number 2. Promos often focused on mind games, more mind games than threats or yelling. So he's kind of soft-spoken.
Roberts?
But, yes, very good. One of his finishing moves wasn't a traditional impact move at all, etc. Documentary exposing Dar Side, carried a python named Damien was the obvious one. So you know a lot of the coke wrestlers so far.
It's just like you got to narrow down the era. And
if it's cocaine, you can assume it's probably 80s and then a bit of 90s because that was the time. Known backstage for pushing unconventional ideas and intense self-belief. That is fair. Again, we'll say 80s and 90s.
Not yet.
Once portrayed as an outsider figure with near mythic qualities. That's kind of fair too. And then they get easier.
Warrior?
Yes. So then it was shook the ropes like a man possessed.
Oh, self-belief. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That was like, I was like
him.
trying to, and then the mythic part, it was like, yeah.
And then it was once defeated Hogan in a rare championship. So these are good clues. His character blended elements of a gangster movie anti-hero with swagger and charisma. That's
gangster
fair.
Movie anti-hero. I'm trying to what would that?
Like literally inspired by a gangster movie character. They're not wrong. Played a key role in one of wrestling's most influential backstage groups. Also,
is it Ramon?
It is.
So because he's Scarface, right?
Correct.
Okay, that's what I was thinking, but I was waiting for you to say something else.
Told you it's good.
I was waiting for you to say something else. So I was like,
and then I
was right there.
It was his personal struggles were a focus of a major ESPN feature, and then the most obvious one, say hello to the bad guy.
That's just not even a hint. That's just telling me.
This one is one of the harder ones, I think. So early 80s and through the 80s, but like in the early 80s, maybe late 70s, I don't know. Held titles in both tag team and singles divisions across multiple eras. And this is true. I don't know how much of him you've seen. Known for a mix of comedy and aggression that few others could pull off.
Bob Backlund?
No.
Oh.
His rivalry with Hulk Hogan included memorable brawls and promos.
Sheik?
Correct. Yes. So Iron Sheik, the final clue, was famous for his curled boots, pointed mustache, and explosive persona.
That blew my perfect streak.
Because he was kind of like so angry and whatever, but he would laugh because he was like his promos and stuff were funny. So that I think those clues are solid. Number 6 of 15, known for speed and agility that helped redefine tag team wrestling.
Dynamite Kid.
Part of a duo whose style heavily influenced modern high-flying teams.
Or Jannetty?
Correct, Jannetty. Career became notorious for off-camera drama, unpredictable interviews, and was finally the obvious one thrown through a barbershop window. Good job. Number 7, early career included a period where he struggled behind the scenes despite on-screen success. That's not that helpful.
Hawk?
90s, we'll say. Nope. Part of a close-knit group that had major backstage influence in the 90s.
Is it Click again?
Yes.
Okay. Is it Nash?
No.
Waltman?
Widely regarded as one of the greatest performers ever.
Trips? Oh, Sean.
You went through all of them, yes. So apparently he had an admitted coke issue at some point. Number 8, gained tremendous early popularity through a mix of charisma and online presence.
Online presence?
Yes. So that era, at least internet era, but early-ish, I would suggest.
Like what?
And we're talking, I'll give you it. I will say we're talking a woman as well.
Sunny.
Yes. Managed several championship-winning teams. Career later involved.
Right, because she was like the most downloaded celebrity
Correct.
at, 97
And
or
then
something?
the final clue was known as WWE's first diva. Number 9, competed in multiple major promotions while maintaining a distinct rebellious style.
Austin?
Nope. Connected to 2 of wrestling's most iconic factions in different eras. I guess that's true, technically.
Waltman?
Yes, we're going back to that whole group seemed to have some coke problems.
I wonder what they were doing together.
And then it was known for candidness about personal struggles and former DX and NWO.
Yeah, I figured it was DX and NWO.
Number 10, built his reputation around an everyman look paired with wild, out-of-control entrances. That is true.
Dusty?
No. Known for working in one promotion that leaned heavily into hardcore wrestling culture. That is true.
So who there?
The entrance being out of control because he entered.
Sandman?
Yes, entered through the
That
crowd.
tracks.
Openly discussed his substance abuse and then walked to the ring smoking cigarettes and drinking beer. Number 11, holds a degree in psychology, which influenced his dark, introspective character work.
Dark introspective.
He's a social sciences guy because the next one is known for long philosophical promos that blended intellect with emotional breakdowns. Those are both true clues.
Cactus Jack.
No. Discussed past drug use, including cocaine, in interviews reflecting on his ECW and WCW years. I like him.
Mike Austin.
And you would have loved him if you were around that time. No.
Or,
The most obvious clue we're at, or do you want to guess?
Sabu.
Leader of...
Oh, Raven.
Yes, of the flock. He was cool, man. Number 12. Entered wrestling from a background very different from most, including time as a bounty hunter.
How do people become actual bounty hunters?
You can just do it in the States somehow.
I want to do that.
All right.
I want to be
Boba Fett?
No. Yeah, or the doctor.
Dog,
the
bug?
dentist.
The dentist.
Django.
Oh, yeah, okay. Became infamous for matches that blended chaos, weapons, and real-life intensity. Known for extremely violent ECW and indie matches.
Wow, someone was known for violent matches in ECW.
Mm-hmm. Wildly violent, though.
Narrows it down.
Like next level.
Sabu.
No.
Taz.
We may or may not have named the robot vacuum after him.
New Jack.
New Jack.
New Jack has a okay. That yeah, I guess
You've been replaced.
If someone was to be bounty hunter.
The robot vacuum, because we got it right when you went to university, is now called New Jack because
yeah,
you've been replaced by a robot.
Because you're loving parents.
That's right. 13. Rose to fame partly through charisma and presence, not just in-ring abilities. So this is a woman again. And think of 80s and 90s. I think mostly 80s.
Sherry?
No. Managed several major names across multiple promotions during the late 80s and early 90s.
Female manager? Not Elizabeth, right?
No. Wrote a memoir describing the party culture of her era, including cocaine use among her own struggles. I mean, that's going to be...
Female manager?
Known as one of wrestling's most famous female managers before the term diva existed. Think about territories and... No? Missy Hyatt?
Oh, I do know her, but I would not.
Not enough to be able to guess her. That's what I thought. 14, second last one. Started his career as a journeyman before landing a character that leaned heavily into comedy and self-promotion. 80s, WWE. Known for telling very candid stories about the wrestling lifestyle in numerous shoot interviews. Yes, he's all over shoot interviews when that was, remember that was so popular. No. Famous for swinging a guitar.
Honky Tonk Man?
Correct. Last one. Became part of one of the most dominant and recognizable tag teams in wrestling history. True.
Axe or Smash?
No. Very close.
Hawk.
Though. Correct. Intense physical style, openly discussed his struggles, one half of the Road Warriors Legion too. Told you that was an interesting one.
Yeah.
I like the way it was set up though. I like the clues.
It actually did do well, yeah.
You did do well. All right, so that's the end of trivia. Now last segment of the week, we'll talk about Raw and a little bit of NXT as well. We call it Highspots and Restholds. Another week where Raw had some notable stuff. I mentioned how I sort of kind of quasi-watched it, I guess, I would say, on a faster speed and skipping things that weren't interesting to me. A lot of it, right, is the firming up of teams for War Games, which that it's been pretty generic and basic.
sewed up. I think it was on it on
SmackDown.
Raw or was it on SmackDown?
Lynch officially, although you could kind of see it coming.
I was talking about for men's at least. I think that was on Raw, right? Where Lesnar and Roman.
Yes, they come out at the end.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's such big star power for this one with the men especially, and it's like probably the least interested I've been in War Games because like look how much is retreaded. We got Roman, Usos, and Punk teaming together again. Right. Now Cody's there. We got Roman and Lesnar facing off again.
Cody feels out of place to me.
It is. Yeah, I agree. We got McIntyre will be facing Punk again. McIntyre will be facing Cody again. We'll have Cody and Paul facing off again. We'll have Usos and Punk and them fighting Division for the millionth time.
Yep.
Like, there's nothing fresh about this.
And the match itself will probably be pretty fun. The matches themselves will probably be pretty fun. But, like, I don't...
Because theirs feel more repetitive because they're constrained by their rating and what they're willing to do. Like, they can't be as unique as Blood and Guts is.
They can't.
I feel like War Games always... It feels like... I don't
Yo care. Off the top of the cage in a trash can?
Yeah, right? Like, tables. We're going to have some kendo sticks.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. The matches could be fun, but the build-up has been pretty... not that I'm watching SmackDown, so who am I to say? But I don't really care, I guess, is what I'm saying. Cena, Sheamus, and Ray beat Judgment Day. We were saying kind of a little bit of a feather in JD's cap. He gets pinned, takes the Cena
actually
pin.
did mention that in the match on SmackDown because I watched him and Dragunov this morning, which is solid.
Last guy on Raw to get pinned by Cena. I
did see a lot of people didn't love that.
Immortalized in trivia now.
That Cena's last match was a 6-man tag on Raw.
I could see that, yeah. Nikki Bella came out and attacked Vicaire on the ramp. I hated... Apparently
this is her last run, so enjoy it.
She's better as a heel. She's still terrible at everything involved in wrestling. And I just hated the image of Vicaire lying at Bella's feet after an attack that I didn't think warranted her. So, because Vicaire's so awesome and everyone loves her, and then it's like they're sort of forcing this Nikki Bella thing almost, I feel, right? So, not a big fan, but anyways. Ziggler returned. He lost to Solo Sikoa. But, man, Ziggler was over with the crowd. It doesn't look like he's lost his step. Sells better than 95% of their roster, right? Even took the Samoan spike. It looked good. You pointed out the
Bret Hart
the Irish
bump of all
whip
Bret Hart bumps
into the corner was incredible. So, yeah, like... but it's just funny because, again, they're just cherry-picking people and saying, nope, now you're Dolph Ziggler. I don't care. Because, like, he's on the quote-unquote, according to... Jericho, the second biggest promotion in North America or whatever Jericho's nonsense is. Mm-hmm. But we're just not going to let you do that character. We're going to revert you back to our character.
I do get it for Cena's last thing, but I do like his Dolph Ziggler though, just because
I do too.
Dolph is great. I always love Dolph.
It's just like, hey, TNA, we're going to keep crapping on you and taking total advantage of our affiliation with you.
Kinda, right?
And use you however we see fit, and you're going to take it.
Yeah.
Is where we're at, right? We're going to take the people we want. We're going to take all your big stars into our shows, and then we're going to sign them when they're available. We're going to send.
We're also going to take the ones back that we want.
We're going to send the jobbers we don't have anything planned for to invade your. So the worst of our worst are the ones that are invading your company, and then we're gonna when we borrow some of your guys. Guess what? There are guys going back to our character. So it's just more of what this relationship is for TNA. Like, just take it. We get a new women's IC champ. Because AJ Lee is such a distraction that Becky Lynch can lose to a high cross from Maxine Dupree.
Yeah, I love it.
And I've seen now that the hate to Maxine goes so far that people are circling back around. Because, like, wrestling fans are contrary, right? So now that everybody is like, oh my God, she doesn't deserve... And then it's circled back around to, oh, she's gotten a lot better. And it's a mid-carder with a mid-card title. To me, the IC is an upper mid card. It's like you're in line.
Either that or like
you're one of the next
she's
ones.
Lower. Even if it is mid card, I still don't think she's good enough.
So she's not good in the ring for sure. Like, she has a great look. I feel like that's why they're going to push Sol Ruka to the moon, because Ruka has a similar look and can actually work, right? So I think it's just biding their time, and then they have a Maxine Dupree that can kind of wrestle and hit some cool stuff.
Yeah, one that can actually go decent.
Charlotte doesn't want to be in War Games, then she does, is my note. Something about... I do like the Kabuki Warriors, like crazy. Asuka is pretty fun in backstage segments and stuff, but it was like she doesn't want to join Bliss in it because she doesn't trust Ripley, I think it was. And then at the end of the show, there's like she has to come out and even the numbers, and then it's like she's in the match. So hooray, I guess. Javon Evans Gunther was a really good match. Really great debut for Evans. The crowd was into him. I imagine some people had no idea who he was. I don't think a ton of the population watches NXT, to be honest.
I can't imagine they do.
Walter's theme is back, really strong. It was all about Javon trying to avoid the chop for as long as he could, right? Which makes total sense. Did you see the spot where Javon dove and he just caught him over his shoulder and then slammed him in? Like, that looked awesome. Really good match. Super happy for Javon Evans. That'll get him noticed. Selfishly, I don't want him to leave NXT, but there's outside of a title run for him there, like, he doesn't need to do much else, I don't think.
I agree.
I've heard people say he can't talk. I love his talking.
He's great.
He sounds authentic.
I don't think I would like... I don't see him as a heel, but
no.
I don't think he needs to be either.
No, not for a long, long time. And then the end was like the usual segment ahead of War Games where all the guys come out and Reed gets speared by Reigns, and I guess that's the finalizing of the teams that we don't care about, so it was pretty standard. NXT was week 1 of Gold Rush, so it was a really match-heavy show. In the opener, we got Chelsea Green, Ethan Page, retaining the AAA mixed titles by defeating Hale and Joe Hendry. 11-minute match. So guess what my complaint is about this? What are my complaint about mixed tag matches?
Yeah, right. Men don't attack the women, and it's basically just 2 singles matches then.
So, but then Thea Hale's allowed to hit offense on the men, and the men are like, it starts to look clunky because the men have to avoid hitting anything on the women while the women hit stuff on the men. So it just kind of takes me out of it a little bit. It comes off like contrived and clunky, and it really feels like TNA because I used to complain about that.
They did do that.
But then at times they would fully let the women fight the men. So it was just kind of like...
Yeah. Because remember they did Tessa was literally world champion for a bit.
Right. But then in mixed matches, it was like, nope. So anyways, it annoyed me. Green hit Hale with the Unpretty Her for the win, and I expected this outcome. How long do you think Thea Hale's going to be just copying Joe Hendry's gimmick?
Hopefully not after this.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm not a fan. I don't know what to do with her exactly, but this seems pretty lame. But who knows? Lola Vice and Jordan Grace are talking crap about Kalani backstage. Kalani walks in, catches them. She says that Grace is jealous of her and she'll have the Knockouts title for a long time. She'll see Jordan Grace next week, and I think this is better. Like, give Kalani short backstage things like this where they can be like,
she doesn't have to do a lot.
Cut, do it again if it's bad, right? Putting her in ring for long as she's kind of working on this heel character, I don't think was the best move. So this is a smarter use of her for now, I think. Question, do you think Jordan Grace ever wins a title in NXT?
I don't know what they're waiting for.
Because remember, rumors are that she is being paid like a main roster person.
I know
already.
Hendry is.
And so, is she just there to put people over for a bit, maybe?
Maybe. I could see... maybe she beats Jane now that she's got that again.
Yeah, which I predicted, by the way.
Yes.
Ava tells us John Cena will pick all the entrants for the 2 Iron Survivor matches, which I don't mind it. Like, they might as well use him. Apparently, he is a supporter of NXT, although that could also just be
Apparently, he's
media.
big on Javon, though.
Yeah.
I saw Sheamus put him over at a house show.
And somebody's got to choose who goes in anyways, so why not him, right? I don't really care. But my question to you, and I know your answer, will Ava ever not sound awkward?
No.
Because she did here.
It's so funny you mentioned
What's her ceiling? We're at it.
Off TV.
Yeah. No, her ceiling is where she is now.
Oh,
does she ever ascend to anything better than this?
No.
But remember, it's not nepotism.
No.
It's her own hard work.
She's forging
and
her
talent.
own path or whatever it was.
So stupid.
It's so funny you mentioned that because I was seeing because Ren
She's
Sinclair posts videos on her Instagram,
Yeah.
and she's pretty entertaining.
She's fun, yeah.
She used to do this when she was in NWA too. She would do these she always be like Happy Wednesday.
Yeah.
And she does it on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
But it's like she has like a little mic and she'll pretend to read questions off her hand. And so she's been doing it with Kendall Gray because they're doing the Ren QCC thing.
They are.
And the one time Ava was on there, and so I remember I didn't watch it at the time, but I went back to find it a little while ago just to see if she was still natural, or if she was natural in a natural state. And I was just she still felt like, because she was kind of trying to keep kayfabe a bit, so it was still terrible.
She's terrible.
Ugh.
But it helps on the worst of year end, so
she can just always be there.
She's a sweep of categories. Tavion Heights is interviewed kind of on the floor beside the crowd. I thought it was weird. He sounded fine, and he sometimes doesn't. But it was talking about how much the NQCC did more for him than going to the Olympics or whatever. I don't know why he has to refer to that group at all, unless there's some lingering story that's going to happen. But anyways,
But they didn't even do that much, and
no. And Dempsey's gone, and
Dempsey's in TNA invading,
which they mentioned later. He wants Cena to pick him for the Iron Survivor, and if he does, that's all the approval he needs. And then they did one of those, the camera's kind of tight on him, and out of nowhere, Briggs just boots him, and it looked really awesome. And then they brawl up the aisle into the concession area. So Briggs is a solid loner heel, but like, what's he gonna do? What he doesn't need to be in NXT.
Put a smoking wolf on his other shoulder.
No, get rid of that. Go to main roster, but like similar to Ava, what's his ceiling? It's higher than hers. Like lower mid card guy. That
I feel like he's an enhancement guy.
I know.
I don't think he goes up even
ever. He's just a lifetimer. He's kind of doing like the Baron Corbin thing, but Baron was gone for a while, right? Where he's this big man heel who can work and at least good enough and make people look good. So I guess that's his thing. Zarya wants Sol Ruca to be sure she's ready to wrestle against Monroe because she's just barely cleared. Isn't it like you're either cleared or you're not?
Yeah, you can't be barely cleared.
Can't be a little bit pregnant, they say, right? Ruca says she wants her title. I like this kind of subtle shot. She's like, I want my title back, and I'm the only one who can get it, right? Because that's a slight at Zarya. What was longer, the tease of Fraxium or the tease of this split?
Fraxium, for sure.
Was it? Because this one feels really long, too. Blake Monroe retained the North American title because, did you see this? Zarya threw in the towel. She had to go find one first. I actually like the match because it's exactly what I said. Like, Monroe was targeting the knee. Despite, I thought, some uneven selling by Ruca. Because at one point, she does a one-legged kip up, which is super impressive, and that's cool.
Yeah, I did see that.
Then she does a one-legged moonsault, but also then she's like landing super kicks, and when she hit that moonsault, she smashes both her legs off the ground, right? So, but as I expected, it was knee targeting throughout, and it was a way for Zarya and Ruca to get even closer to their split. Since Zarya threw in the title, Ruca's mad about that. It looked like there were opportunities where Ruca was in the single leg crab, which actually looked really good. It was deep. It looked like Zarya could have reached out and helped her, but I don't know if it was because they're baby faces, they can't, or you're supposed to be showing like I'm kind of not helping.
I mean, either or, I guess.
Because my question is, who goes heel when this splits?
Zarya.
Right?
Obviously.
I think so too. Because she'd be, but I don't know how you get there. I feel like
she should have been heel before then.
I do too.
I don't know.
Before this big run.
Well, because she could like be like, Ruca was getting too greedy and it started to cost her, and then she had to defend her title. She got blamed for it.
But she's coming across more babyface than Ruca right now. Because it's like, I was the one thinking of your knee. You were willing to like have your career destroyed. I care about you. I threw in the towel to save your knee. I guess you can change your story.
But you could be like, I cared about you. You didn't listen to me.
Yeah.
You were only caring about your titles and not the well-being of you or the team. Like,
so I killed you.
Yeah.
My nitpicking, why, when you think about the history of wrestling and heels wrestling, why does it take Monroe to like enlist the woman from hell just to target a pre-existing injury when regular old heels do that week in and week out everywhere? Do you know what I mean?
Just to like tap into like this alter ego.
I wish she could have done something super violent to it. Then that's different.
Yeah,
but this was just like your chop block. You know what I mean? It was your usual heels
like
going after.
A regular person would do.
I think it's kind of, there's a bit of a disconnect for me because you don't have to be like Satan to do this because people do it all the time. But if they'd found a way, I can't think of something like to put it in a chair or to
to cut the hair off her knee.
Right, whatever. And then we get Saints and Obafemi in the ring. I don't even know if I mentioned this last week because it basically got almost cut off right at the end, but he came back at the end of the show. Ricky welcomes Femi back, says that he could see having the title was wearing Femi down, so Saints took a shot and won it. Femi underestimated Saints, and Femi couldn't handle losing, so he left and went back to Nigeria while Saints kept the train rolling. And he's like, Femi won't be taking the title from him. I really liked Femi's response. He basically was like, I see you're the same man, the same guy as when I left, charisma, but the same little man. And then he said he left because he wasn't interested in the NXT TNA nonsense or Trick and Ricky's best dressed competition. So I was like, he's like, I left because the stuff you guys were doing was stupid and I don't want to be part of it. And I thought it was awesome.
That's
right?
Kind of fair.
He literally says those things are beneath the ruler. He went back to Nigeria to create the version of himself that Ricky cannot beat. The sun is setting on the Absolute Era. The bringer of war is back, and your daddy is home. And the fans went nuts for Obafemi here. Like, I don't know if that's what they wanted, because he's got to be not the face here.
I mean,
and they
you can kind of have him
him
in between, since he's like not been like super heel the whole time.
I thought he was great here. His delivery is great, and just the whole like, yeah, I was gone because you were doing stuff that was beneath me. So I just went to get better so I could kill you when you stopped doing dumb stuff.
That's what I mean. Like, that could be kind of heel speak, but also it could not be if you like want him to be a tweener.
Yes. Saints immediately grants him the title shot at Deadline, I think it is, and Trick walks out. And I'm like, just as I'm like, oh man, I don't need these guys all together again. Miles Bourne saves us because he attacks Trick with a chair. Bourne says he'll win the Iron Survivor, even though he's not even in it yet. Like, that's the thing. These people are like, I'm winning it.
They're already calling their shot.
You're not in it. And he says he'll see Saints or Femi at New Year's Evil. So yeah, I liked Femi here a lot. Saints is solid, but Femi, just the attitude of like, here's why I was gone, because you're doing dumb stuff and now I'm here to kill you. I thought it was cool. Ava's mad at Bourne for attacking Trick, but then immediately gives him a match against Trick next week. So there's your like, I gotta love wrestling, right? You want a match with this person? Just attack, like just literally assault them. Yeah. Briggs and Heights are still brawling, and Briggs choke slams Heights through a table. Dark State retain the NXT tag titles. In 12 minutes, they beat Evans and Slater. So obviously Dark State have to use their numbers, right? So you had Sugars get involved, and I think Cutler got up on the apron near the finish. Slater and Evans are great together. They made this pretty entertaining. It was kind of good despite Dark State, not because, not that they're terrible, but like it's the other guys that I'm there to see. So Slater took the Doomsday Clothesline thing. Dark State wins. Ren is backstage talking to Kendall Gray, and it's just basically her going, I'm surprised that Charles is in TNA and he's back, and he hasn't let me with NXT jobbers. And it was them acknowledging it for some reason, because I don't know why they would. So the NXT Spotlight, I almost wanted to get you to watch this. Do you know who Shiloh Hill is?
Yes.
Okay, so
I heard he had a new character.
So he's sitting at like a desk with two computer screens going, and it looks like he's coding or something, because
going back to coding?
As we're going to learn, no, he's a complicated guy. So somehow...
Does he read books?
Somehow he didn't go to school, and he skipped school all the time and blah, 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 but ended up at Stanford playing football. So I don't quite know. So they're trying to play like, I hated school and resisted the establishment, and I skipped all the time, and I did online school and crushed it or something, and then ended up playing football. So I guess...
I don't know about that.
So I guess he's this enigma, and who could imagine, Jack, that somebody could both be a jock and smart? Like, that's not possible.
Oh my God, we're doing like High School Musical where I can be a jock and I can sing.
And he doesn't sound bad for somebody who's new and was given a lot to say here, but this is how WWE projects like their own beliefs, right? That you are, one thing makes up your identity. Right?
So then it's now
and if
unique.
It's more than one thing, that's like crazy, and you're
weird.
You're just a complicated enigma because you are good at sports and you have a brain. So that's like different.
Dumb people play sport,
right? You're only allowed to have one thing be your identity, not multiple things. So this is just the most creative thing ever, So I wanted to like it because I didn't think he was doing a bad job, but then it's like, I hated school and didn't go to school, but I went to Stanford, and so I just play football? Nope, I'm super smart and love computers and I'm coding and stuff. I'm just like, oh.
Then why, if you're so smart, why didn't you go to school?
That's so strange. But anyways, then Ruka and Zarya are talking backstage again. Ruka complains about Zarya throwing in the towel. Obviously, Zarya says she's worried about Ruka's health since Ruka was barely cleared. There's that again. You were cleared, man. This barely
cleared is fine. Cleared's good enough.
Ruka's stupid pride was going to get her hurt, and Ruka says it's her pride is why she held 2 titles. Zarya wants to focus on winning the speed title. Ruka clearly isn't thrilled and leaves. So again, we're baby stepping towards this. And then main event, as I predicted, Tatum Paxley did in fact lose the NXT title to JC Jane, because as I also predicted, Izzy Dame turns on Paxley.
That was a hell of a boot.
Hits a really good looking boot that leads directly into the finishing forearm from Jane, which actually looks good too and sounds good. And the crowd react. She hit it twice. Once was a really good false finish, or near fall, I guess. It sounds good. It looks good. So match went 11 minutes. It was pretty good. Paxley got a taste of the title, so she could now be considered in that orbit when they want, right?
That's true.
And now she can feud with Dame. The Cullen can go back to being heels and stop confusing me by leaning babyface. And then Jane is quote unquote a credible champion to feud with whoever. So doesn't
I
this
guess.
sound like now the Iron Survivor's a babyface?
Yes.
Sol Ruca? If
Yeah,
she gets
or
it,
Grace.
feels like Sol
Grace,
Ruca's
I
time
guess.
to ascend.
I would say that's probably more likely than Grace.
I think so. But anyways, it was. I liked NXT. None of the matches were amazing, but it kind of kept moving, and I didn't. By the time I watch it, because it now says on Netflix like altered from its original version or whatever, it's saying like
It's yeah.
So it's like an hour and 19 minutes, so it's not a big investment.
I still don't get how that works
in my
sometimes.
time. I know it's different from when they definitely chop some stuff out.
Yeah.
And commercials, obviously, but everything else too. All right, I think that's bringing us to the end of 279. Full Gears tonight. Is there a chance we record tomorrow? Probably very slight.
Probably low, but
probably
maybe.
not. We'll probably tack it on to the beginning of episode 280, but you never know. We could get extremely motivated. So we hope if you're watching Full Gear, you enjoy it. We appreciate you taking time out of your week to listen to us talk about wrestling. We will be back for 280 next week, not in the same room, but over the magic of the internet, we'll still get 280 out there. We look forward to it. Hope to see you then. And until then, everybody, take care.